What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of SGDS, Same Goals, Different Struggles. This is episode number 38, man. I got my brother back with me today. What up, CJ?
What's going on, man?
Wonderful. How everything going, King?
Wonderful day to be an adult.
I don't think no day is wonderful to be a fucking adult.
Fuck being an adult. I hate being an adult.
All right, man. Today, man, before I get started, man, if you're new to the channel, please do click the subscribe button, man. Click the like button. Leave your comments if you have anything. I read all comments. I do reply to some of them. Some of them I just don't even care about. Today, we got an episode, very special episode, man. It's a new movie out called Sinners, man. Very, very, I like the movie, man. I gave it 10 out of 10. I don't know. We're gonna get CJ opinion. I want to give a special shout out to Ryan Cougar. If I'm saying your last name wrong, bro, I do apologize. Kugler. All right, then. Kugler, man. A very talented director, man. This was a special movie based in back in Jim Crow times, 1938 in Mississippi. I want to get your opinion on it, man, before I get really started into any questions, man. I want to get your opinion on how you feel about the movie, bro.
The movie is a phenomenal piece of work. Mr. Kugler is a phenomenal director. I want to be like dude one day. I ain't gonna hold you. When I get putting things together. But nah, it's a dope film though. It's a dope film. I was seeing something where this girl was talking about her brother, her great uncles or something. They were like twins in Mississippi, and
I heard about that. I think I seen a picture or something like that.
Played no games or whatever, but I think a lot of down south stories need to be told. It's a lot of Atlanta stories, that need to be told. You know what I mean? It's like people think Meech and Southwest T, the Terry brothers, like them weren't the only dudes out here. Them weren't the only brothers out here really, making noise out here when it came to drug dealing or whatever. But I think a lot of those southern down south stories need to be told, and I think he just cemented a stepping stone for that to happen. So
people talking about my bad, I didn't mean that.
Go ahead.
I was just seeing people first I want to say that I see people downgrading the movie. Ish on Joe Buddy podcast said it was I feel like it was a little overrated. I feel like that's bullshit. I feel like he said something about people was using like big words in the movie that they really wouldn't even know what it means. They were just given the words to use in the movie as a line. Now I'm not an expert in movies, but I do know that you are given a fucking script in a movie. And every movie that I know, unless you're able to what's the word I want to use? One thing is you can just, do your own thing or just spin.
Use improv.
Improv, exactly. But you are given a script. So to me, I feel like the movie, and I've seen a lot of younger kids just say that it was an okay vampire movie. That they don't, like they think it was an okay vampire movie. So to me, when I see that, the number one thing I think about is we don't know our history.
Well, it's a fictional movie. It ain't like it was a movie of.
Well, let me clear this when I say this. I'm not saying it was a true. Like the movie is not true. Even if you're trying to compare it to the guitar player, I forgot his name. I think it was Bobby Johnson or something like that. Who they saying in the theory that he gave his soul to the devil to play better on the guitar. If you want to compare it to something like that, you can. It's supposed to be like a spin-off of things of that. But I feel like when I say we don't know our history, it's the lost messages that was lost in it. So and to me, when I seen things, I seen a lot of messages in the story of the movie that I just really connected with. You know what I mean? I could start from the beginning where just as like from when I'm starting the storytelling of when smoking. I go back. I ain't even gonna say this. I started at the beginning where the preacher boy, before anything, he worked on the plantation. You work on the plantation from Monday to Friday. Saturday was supposed to be your off day. Sunday you give to God and religion. Am I wrong or right on this?
I mean, depending on the religion, so I'm assuming they were Baptist,
Christian or Baptist, but that's why I just said religion. I didn't give a specific religion.
Yeah.
Depending on where you at in. So this was based in Jim Crow. So we basing it, I mean not Jim Crow, based in Mississippi during these times of Jim Crow. So that's where we're basing the movie stance at. I can't say what was going on in different states as far as Chicago or up north. So I'm just basing it in Mississippi right now. But during that time, they was working on the plantation. He did his hours of work. Sammy, the boy's name was Sammy. He did his hours of work. He went in and told his father, you know, he did his hours of work. He just wanted to be free for one day.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that was a big message just for me that a black man just want to be free. That's when I was just saying, you like in the world, still in this day, we still are still fighting to be free. Now, how do you feel about that? Do you feel that it's just did you pass by that message, or did you see that message as well?
I don't.
Or what did you see?
With him being wanting to be free, well, in reality, they were free.
How do you feel like they were free?
Because I mean, this is a period piece directed towards, well after, quote unquote, slavery. So he was free to do whatever he was doing. Like, we also got to understand that's one of those towns where back then that actual town, I can't remember the name of it, but that's one of those towns that actually thrived after, you know, that slavery period.
After slavery was free. After slavery, but so that's another great point. At that time, it did strive. That was one of the reasons the twins. I wouldn't say that was the reason they left. They left for their own parental reasons. They went to Chicago, but when they picked up their cousin Sam, he told them to ask them about, you know, he asked them about Chicago and how it was, because he heard a different vision for a black man in Chicago.
Right, and they told him it's the same thing.
Just the same thing. It's no different.
Yeah, but that's like today, in today's time. It's no difference from being in Alabama or being in. It ain't no difference. I mean, you can see that now.
So you feel like a man can strive anywhere?
You can strive anywhere, wherever you put it. So that's where it comes in. That's why I be talking about, like, when black people have taken this victim mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, they taking that victim mindset and make it as if, you know, everybody should feel this way, and it's just not true. Like, yeah, do stuff happen to where black people are mistreated? People are outcast in certain facets of life. Yes, that does happen. I'm not saying that, because the systematic racial systems some of these places are still in place, but in that same breath, I'll say we are in a position to where we don't have to go to these certain spots for these resources. You see what I'm saying? Like, black people make enough money. We spend, let's say this, we spend enough money to change our circumstances overnight. But the issue that we have is, you got black people who are, you know, well off or decent or make a decent living, and then you got poor black people.
So let me ask you this then, bro, because you always say we have this victim mindset, right? And you always say we have the money. But what you're not putting two and two together is back when, or I'll take it back then. Like it goes far as teaching your mindset. You can have money. If I give you $1 million, right, or if I give you this money, right, what's the mindset of you doing with the money? See, we think with money, you give a person, or you person make $10 million. A person might think in their mindset, I'm rich, I'm wealthy, I don't have to work a day in my life again. Until you start spending all your money, or you giving your money away, and now you thinking, damn, how do I spend through all this money so fast? Or I bought all this shit, and how did I get in this position? So the mindset goes back to, what are we being taught as Black people? Because we're not getting taught the same thing as certain people.
So whose fault is that?
You could blame it on whoever you want to blame it on.
No, I ain't blaming nobody. I'm asking a generalized question. Whose fault is that?
I can't say whose fault it is. I can't say who fault.
So let me ask you something.
No, let me say this. I can't say who fault it is because of this, right? You still got some people that believe certain fucking things. And I could take it to the mark. I've been saying you this shit all day. The flat earth and that goddamn round earth shit. You got people that still believe that these motherfuckers went to the moon. It's just a certain mindset that they still have. And these are people that are supposed to be intelligent, that has
but that's
all this type of shit.
Let's address this. So most times what happens is people say this. Well, they owe us 40 acres and a mule and all this other type of stuff, right? They saying this stuff. And I understand it. They lied. Okay. So you're gonna keep crying about some shit that they lied about 100 years ago, 200 years ago?
I think only certain Black people was worried about that, because not every Black person was worried.
Well, this is what I'm saying though. Who is responsible for teaching the next person in your community?
That go back to it's the right responsibility is on us, but it's the right teaching. Because like we said, and in a video I sent you, it's scientific theory. You believe one thing and you're teaching that, but then something else come out and you might miss that, or you might not believe it, or now you just in the middle of it.
But that's all right. That's okay. Like everybody's not gonna believe the same thing.
So what are we going back to, financial literacy?
Teaching? Yeah, it's like you got money. What do you do with it? If you got money, what do you do with it? How do you make more money? Now, some people on the business, like everybody know this. Like if you got money, you cannot give to somebody who they ain't never had no money. It's not gonna work that way. It's just don't. That's a fact. So for us, like, what are we doing now to counteract all of these problems? Like, I hear all the problems, right? But what are the solutions to these problems? The people that have the solutions, y'all don't want to listen to.
How do you make the solution look cool?
Fuck it, looking cool.
See, but that's the problem now, though. You
but we too worried about
I say that, and I'm gonna say this because you want to know why I say that shit. Because the white man has taken what we have made cool and you learn how to use it to make a profit. So how do we make something look cool that we know?
We make everything look cool.
We ain't making this look cool. If we did, then we'll be better off.
We make struggle look cool. We make going to jail look cool. We make gang banging look cool. All of these things.
But who profits off that? And I'm not just talking about a profit off. I'm talking about who profits off that.
The thing is this, though. It don't matter who profits off of it. It don't. It don't matter.
How?
The thing is this. If you know that you control the cool, then why aren't you profiting off of it?
Let me ask you, say it don't matter. When you sign up, if you sign, and that's what Sinners was all about. In that movie was about giving your soul to the devil. That's exactly what a part of that movie was about. Giving your soul to the devil.
That movie also has some underlying tone in it as well. People are believing in the devil. See, this is the thing. This is what happens. People got this mindset, oh, the devil this, the devil this, the devil that, this. But don't understand that the spirituality of these people who use the mojo and all of that. Like, let's take this for instance. The lady in the movie had a mojo bag that she gave to Smoke, right?
Talking about Miss Annie.
Right. My prayers, my witchcraft kept you safe.
Before you start, hold on. I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish. I just want the people to understand where you're going with this, because some people might not have watched the movie. You saying Annie believed in the spiritual roots that her grandmother taught her.
Right.
Yes.
So, but
Smoke questioned it.
He did question it, but the shit kept him safe though.
But see, in the movie though, she said that it kept Smoke and her brother safe, but it was their baby that died, and he asked her why they didn't keep their baby safe.
Why didn't he keep the baby safe? Maybe she didn't get a baby a mojo bag. Who knows? Shit, I don't know. He had a mojo bag on his neck. He couldn't get bit because he had the mojo on his neck.
We really want to know because it didn't show.
What you mean?
It didn't show in the movie.
When his brother tried to bite him?
Oh, no. I said you talking about the baby. It didn't show why the baby died.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
We won't know that reason.
Babies die all the time. What I'm saying is,
it could be not. Why? Yeah. We don't know.
So look, they took you got to look at it like this in this movie. They took what they have deemed as an evil element, and then they took that same spiritual, godly element that people praying and all this other type of stuff, and they combined them in one movie, right? When you pay attention to what was going on, Annie she wasn't praying to God. She used the hoodoo, right? Which is a spiritual thing that the Haitian element of life used to win the war against Napoleon. If we want to go historical context, right? Because he come back and said, hey, they using the trees and this magic and they really got their ass kicked. So if you looking at the historical context and this is what was said.
Oh, you said he said they use it. I heard Smoke said he didn't see that.
Not Smoke. I'm talking about Napoleon. We talking
about. Okay, go ahead.
Napoleon said that when he got in the fight with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wasn't on that, but yeah. Go ahead. I know.
So what I'm saying is they took this thing that they consider devilish or whatever, this hoodoo thing, right? And voodoo or whatever, and they put that the church-like aspect in the midst of it too, with Sammy, his daddy, praying God and all that type of stuff. And the clear undertone there is it's all about spirituality, man. Like Sammy he went and played, but what we trying to say? Like that the devil's music was deemed devil's music by white culture. He said it in the movie. They like the music that we play. They just don't like the people that play it. He said it in the movie.
And the person you talking about that said it was Delta when they was on the ride was Stack and Slim.
Right.
And that's another lost cause that we don't have is a lot of times what you said earlier is the teaching. A lot of times the teaching that we give or the other folks give us, we don't want to listen to. Sammy, as Preacher Boy, was listening to Delta when he was asking him about, why he got locked up, how he knew the prisoners that they passed by on the road. He was also giving an example of him and his homeboy when they was playing and they end up meeting these KKK people that they played for music. And when they was on the road, Delta said that the KKK people said they like our blues music, but they don't like the people who make it.
Right. So it's if we're looking at the historical context of this, people don't understand that voodoo is not nothing evil. They tricked us to believe that.
Just like in the movie where Delta said that the blues is ours and the religion was forced upon us.
Right. So, I mean, when you understand these concepts, it makes it hard to go and do that other thing. And that's what the duality between Sammy had in the movie. Like, now what I'm doing makes me feel good. But the devil, the devil, you better be careful playing the devil's music. But who constructed that whole thing?
A lot of times what people didn't understand in that movie is it was a very function of just white, Irish. You have black, white, Irish. You had a spiritual Haitian that I don't even want to give just to the Haitian. I do honestly believe, right, that as black, whatever you want to call us, when we was here, before religion was forced upon us, spiritual voodoo or spiritual roots was stuff that our ancestors did use before they knew anything about the religion part.
Of course.
And I think that's the lost cause. And then what people don't realize to this day is when you add up years, Christianity is the shortest religion.
Youngest.
The youngest religion that's being taught. Islam, you got all these different religions that's way older. So to me, it's like we already know that in history that it's been people on this earth for thousands of years. If Christianity is the youngest religion, how can you not, in your back of your mind, wonder what was being taught or what was being done what were they doing before then?
Well, I mean, religion is religion. People, I don't knock people for what they believe. Like, it is what it is. Like, if that's what helped you get up and go about your day and do what you need to do, hey,
but it's so much conflict and like contradiction in a religion. Whereas,
but I don't think that actually matters. Like, I think if this what helps you deem yourself as a good person or be a good person to other people and live your life, I ain't saying you got to live like this goody two-shoe life or whatever, but if that what helps you get out, go through your day and be good to other people, then so be it. I don't care what contradictions are in there. Be honest, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, I'm not subscribing to it, but I'm just saying, if that helps you get up and do your thing every day, by all means, do your thing. Just don't try to, force your religious beliefs or anything on other people. And
I think that's what was going on in the movie too. That people like when Sammy went to meet back up with his father gave him an ultimatum, and it's kind of like that's what comes with religion. It's an ultimatum with certain things, and like I say, I mean, whatever a person feels, like you said, I do agree with that. Makes you a good person. It does, but don't look at the next person who don't want to do that as them being the devil or a demon or somebody that, you know what I mean, that you can look down on.
And let's just be honest, man. People like to sin. People like to do these things. You know what I mean? Like, so it is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna knock the next person because they like to engage in, things that would be deemed controversial when it comes to the society. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna knock you because of that. Like, like I tell people all the time, good people do good people do bad things, and bad people do good things. As simple as that.
That's real. I mean, I feel that's real.
Those are facts. You got drug dealers who fucked the community up years ago, but at the same time they gave out turkeys on Thanksgiving and made sure people had food to eat. You know what I'm saying? You got pastors who
I contradict doing that now. Like because some people don't even have home to cook that motherfucker in.
Yeah, that's true. But then you got pastors who run church organizations and they sleeping with everybody in the congregation. So it's like, bro.
And then I contradict that because I got it. When you go back to it, if people understood how a nonprofit works, you probably look at the church a little different.
Well, I mean, it ain't even that you look at it. I mean, the church been in church and state should have never coincided with each other. That should have never happened.
Do people even know that?
Huh?
Do people even know that how the government or state is
But church and
combined?
state, that was established a long time ago. They were never supposed to get in bed together, but they had. They did that back in what was that? The 70s.
Is that
That's
part of
how
leading? Ain't
you know,
that part of leading your people in the wrong way?
yeah. I mean, of course, but it is what it is. Power corrupts absolutely. Just what it is.
There's a part in that where I wanted to ask you about the money when Smoke tried to take that money from Annie. Do you know what type of money that was and why it was any different than like regular U.S. property money?
I think that was. If
It
I'm not
wasn't food stamps.
nah, if I nah hell no. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was. I could be wrong, but I think when they had that when they separate when slaves were freed and all this other type of stuff, I think it was like some type of currency that between slaves that were exchanged. Well, not between slaves, between newly freed slaves that was exchanged in like that own community type of thing. It's like a bartering system. I could be wrong, but I believe I've heard that somewhere.
Is it almost like how other countries have their own currency?
Almost. But I think it was like you're not gonna spend this money outside of anywhere else. You'll just spend it in this little community. You see what I'm saying? And I could be wrong, but I think I've heard that before.
The only reason I think is it sound right because I did hear her in the movie saying he said to her like you can't use this money anywhere else, and she said I wasn't going anywhere else. Yeah. So 9 times out of 10 you wasn't going out of that community. Yeah. So
I think that's what that
in that community. In that community, they had their own black-owned everything. Like not only black-owned, but it was black-owned, but it was also Asian communities that set up in those towns too.
During that time too, yeah. This is around the time before the Great Depression.
That also strives in those communities too. I see a lot of people saying, I guess upset that it wasn't no Mexicans. I don't believe Mexicans was even was even headed that way in Mississippi doing that way or being able to set up. Let me ask you this though, bro. And people might not know, how was Asian able to set up and get loans back then?
I don't think they got loans back then.
I'm not for sure, but I did hear that it was some Asian banks back then that was giving out loans. I'm not factual, but they did say that I think they had some Asian banks out there that was giving Asians loans to set up.
Yeah. I don't know, but I mean, it's not hard. They know how to, they come in, they set up shop and go to work. As simple as that. But they got a whole country. They got the loan before they even came to the country. So you just come in and
so I don't know how that even translate back then and how they did that back then because
the same way they do it now. You got Asian banks in this country. Like this ain't, you just transfer the money from one.
They have Asian banks. Do you know any Mexican banks?
Huh?
Do you know any Mexican banks?
If they are not in America, probably in Mexico.
Exactly. So that's all I'm saying. I don't know. But
I'm just telling you, this is how they work.
But I don't know if that's how the setup was back then. I can't say. Like I don't know.
The setup ain't changed. Why do people think that the setup has changed? Ain't nothing changed. 1930 was only.
You said nothing has changed, but we just said they don't even use that type of money that we was just talking about in there. So things have changed, bro. So that's what I'm saying. Everything. Bro. It wasn't.
Yeah, the surface level shit, but as far as how this government operates, has not changed. It's changing now because Donald Trump and they're going crazy. But
I can't say. I don't know if the Asian banks were able to do stuff with the black community to get, because even in the movie you see how the Asian was able to work with the Asians was able to work with the blacks, but the blacks would not work with the whites in that movie because before
this is the time doing Jim Crow. This is not.
hold on, bro, because you're saying that, but we're not saying Smoke and Snack got that building from a white man. So we're not gonna act like you couldn't buy from a white person. They just a certain circumstances where they would and wouldn't not do transactions with them.
Bro, do you understand why he sold them that?
I know why he sold him that. I'm not getting.
So,
I didn't even bring that up.
It's not saying that they didn't do business or nothing like that. It's just
I didn't say that.
It's always been a caste system in America, man. America's a caste system. So if you got the money, they not gonna not take the money because you black. It's like that's not how that works.
I didn't say. But time out. I never said the white person would not take it. I never said.
That's what I'm saying. We trying to mix the surface level. It's always the surface level shit. So like us shopping at their stores, that's surface level. But if I want to sell this man a building, you got to think. When these black people left the plantation, man, they built their own stuff. I think people be thinking like it was. So this is what people think. People think that black people were just on the low end of the totem pole after slavery.
We not talking. I know where you're going, but I wasn't talking about how black people set up. I was talking about how Asians set up in there.
But what I'm saying is that look, Asians and black people always been intertwined with each other.
You want to say that now? You really want to go to China and see if we do business over there?
No, I'm not. In America, Asian and black people has always been entwined with each other. This is a fact. Until the black man has an issue, as you can see in the movie. She said, what she said? Hey, we came to help them with this, but we ain't helping them with that.
That's great.
That's always been the dynamic between black and Asian people in this country. That's always been the dynamic.
Is it an understanding dynamic? Do you agree with the dynamic? How do you like? Do you feel like the dynamic should be changed if you only gonna be doing business with me then, but if shit get real like tough? Because
that ain't our problem. But see, that's black people problem. That's black community's problem. We take on everybody's problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then
we do.
You know, how many people was that? How many I mean you have a sprinkle of a few people that's gonna, gonna ride. If you went to school with them, they're gonna ride with you. But when it come down to the nitty gritty, come on, man. It is what it is. Like America, people like to say, well, America is not a racist. They don't like the word racist because it has a negative connotation to it. Right?
And I was looking up that word. And depending on how you're using that word, it could be used in a way we're talking about, but it could be in a bad way too, where it's like the people normally use it as a racist.
But that's what's people try to use the word in a negative connotation, but the word is the word. It doesn't change. If you put "ist" on the end of any word, it just
if you use the word for a noun, it's not the same as a verb.
Well, look, when you put the suffix "ist" on the end of any word, it just means that first. That's all it means. You can't make it like people trying to add these other connotations in it. You can't make it mean anything else but what it means. If I say sex is, what does that mean? My sex first. If somebody calls you a sexist, they're just saying you just want to be a man first. You just want men first. They call you a racist. What else you can put in front of that? A feminist. That's all of this means. Is you want whatever you putting an "ist" on to be first, and you're gonna go with that first. Now, prejudice is the term that people are looking for. Racist just mean my race first. I told you, people can be racist and still fuck with you. Like, that's my dog. I drank with him. But when it comes to if a
I
white
don't know
man
about that one, bro.
walk in this door, I'm telling you, this is what it is. I'm not making this up.
It's a characteristic by or showing prejudice.
What?
Where is shit? Look this shit up, bro.
Characteristics
by or prejudice. Prejudice, what I said.
Prejudice is the word that you're looking for, though.
That's still the meaning of racist, though.
No, it doesn't.
If you look the word up, right? I just looked it up. Look it up on Google.
Fuck what Google talking about. The dictionary.
How the fuck you gonna tell these people to say fuck what Google talking about?
Dictionary, racist.
A person who is prejudiced or against towards people on the basis of their membership in a particular race or ethnicity group, typically one that is a minority or whatever the fuck this word is.
Go down where it says when you using it as a noun, a person who is prejudiced against or
that's what I read.
Hostile towards people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group. That's prejudice.
That's used in a noun. But you also can use it in the adjective.
Listen, man.
It's just you can, bro. You can't flip you can't use what you want to use in certain. Why you can't?
No, you're not. I'm telling you.
If you use it as a noun, bro. If you use it as a noun, we read that off.
Look, it says characterized. Use it as an adjective. It's characterized showing prejudice.
That's not or showing prejudice, discrimination, or antagonistic against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular race or ethnicity group. It's the same thing,
bro. Race is
the same thing, though.
Race first. It's not the same thing.
They didn't say that. It don't even say that ain't what you just read.
Two totally different things.
But that ain't even what you just read, bro.
It's not about what you just read. These are new definitions. Got to be,
dog. You crazy right now, dog. You cannot sit up here and tell people that it's not about what you just read. And this what
showing prejudice. That is the word that you're looking for. It says it right here.
But it's defined inside of racist.
Listen.
You trying to output what racist is. When you define, you look up a word and it defines it for you. You can't output what it defines and just say that's what, I'm looking for that word. So let's just go use this word. Nah, it still go back to the same word.
That's because it go back to the same word. Don't make it the same thing. What are you talking about?
How, bro?
Bro, if I say somebody is prejudiced, what am I saying?
If you say you're prejudiced, you're saying you're racist.
No, I'm not.
If you're saying if a person are being prejudiced, bro, we just read this shit off, but you're trying to use it in a way or say that it's in a way.
So what does characterize mean?
It just said it, bro. You're characterizing it by
what does characterize mean?
Race or ethnicity. Let's see what you said. What do characterize mean? You putting them in one group.
Characterize.
Put them in one group, one section, one over here, one over there, one over there, one over there.
So, or showing prejudice, that means you're prejudiced. Prejudice is the word that you're looking for. Racist means what it means, bro.
Exactly, though, bro.
Let me break it down to you like this. Let me break it down to you like this. Break it down to you like this. What does race mean?
What will race mean?
Yeah.
What the ethnicity, what you are, supposedly.
Right. Race, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what does ist mean?
When you're putting it on the end of a word, is.
What does it mean?
Let me look that up because I want to be right when I say that shit. You got the definition?
Mm-mm.
The suffix is used to affirm nouns and adjectives to describe a person who does, may, or practice something or enhance or particular doctrine, or system. It can denote someone who performs a specific action or concern with something. For example, a motorist. A motorist is someone who drives a car, and a typist is someone who types.
Right.
So a racist is a racist.
That exactly what I've been saying.
I never said, but I'm saying.
So look, listen. If you are a ist of anything, this is what you do. This is who you are. And I'm going to put that before anything. That's all that it means. That's it. That's all it means. So I could be a racist and still
I don't look at it like that. If you want to look at it,
prejudice. I don't. When I'm prejudiced, that means I hate you because you're black, you're Mexican.
Well, let's go
white,
back.
Whatever. I'm not a prejudiced person, but you can be a racist person and still be cool.
Prejudice, opinion that is based on a reason or action experience. If you have an action experience, how the fuck is that being a race? Like, I mean, like that's something you're. Explain that one for me, man.
Bro, it says.
No, explain that one.
Dislike or unjust behavior.
You're reading the similarities on the bottom. You're not reading number one, bro. Because I know I'll point that shit out. Read number one.
Reason and actual experience.
Explain.
What do you mean explain it? It just tells you what it means.
Explain it then.
An opinion that is based on a reason or actual experience. I don't like you because you black, and I don't like black people.
And that word goes back to what? Being what?
Racist. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Listen to what I'm saying. Because I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
I hear you. No, I hear you, and we're reading the definition, but you're trying to put. I'm
not trying to put anything.
But
I don't like you because you are black, right? That has nothing to do anything of me putting my race first. I can not like black people.
How about this? Two things can be right though, bro.
Yeah, but not in this case. Because
it's still under the same definition. You can't separate neither one of them because racist still is a part of being prejudiced.
No, it's not.
If it has it under the definition and it's not separating it as an anonym or a synonym or a dislike or like, when we doing this, it has it under a definition. How are you going to separate something from that definition?
I'm not separating anything. I'm reading exactly what it's saying. A preconceived opinion. I don't like you because you're a black person. That's a preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience. I ain't never been around black people, but I don't like them. That's what that means.
Say that one more time.
I ain't never been around. Look, it says I have a preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience.
Where you at with that, bro?
Bro, this is the definition you just read. What are you talking
about?
No.
I know. I'm thinking you read something else. I did read that.
That means, yeah, I don't like you. I mean, I ain't trying to like you. I'm prejudiced against it. I don't care what's going on with it. I don't care. It is what it is. I don't like it. You ain't never had no experience with it.
That's prejudice. But prejudice still, when you look up prejudice, a prejudice is part of racist. If prejudice is not in racist, when you look up that definition.
Look, it says a preconceived opinion.
I'm asking you a question though, bro. Is it not under the definition of racist?
Just because it's in the definition of racist doesn't mean that that's what it means. It doesn't mean that these things mean the same thing.
So when you look up a word, you look up the word black, and it has a definition, and you just gonna take a part of the definition out, say it don't mean that, or
no, you're not taking a part of the definition out.
You just did though, bro.
No, I didn't. I just read the definition.
You just said just because prejudice is in the definition. When I rewind this back and send you the clip, you said just because prejudice is in the definition doesn't mean that that's the word. I mean that's what that word.
It don't mean the same thing. It don't. It don't mean the same thing.
All right, bro. Clearly.
Bro, I can be a racist and hang out with black people. If
I
I'm a
never
white
said
man,
you couldn't.
yes,
I never
you
said you
can.
couldn't. I said I never said you couldn't.
So what I'm saying is, look, when you look at the word prejudice, right? It says preconceived. You already have made up in your mind.
But racist says you're showing prejudice, though, right? Under the definition, it says you're showing prejudice.
Listen, I'm trying to explain to you how both of them are different. They're just two totally different words. Because if they was the same word, you wouldn't need two words.
I didn't say it was the same word. I said it's defined under the same. When I say that, bro. Go ahead.
Listen to what I'm saying. A racist can hang out with you, kick it with you, and everything.
That don't define that. That don't. I'm not saying that don't mean that you. That don't take away from what the definition is. You could be whatever you is. I'm pro-black. That don't mean I don't like white people.
So listen to what I'm saying. Prejudice means you have a preconceived notion. You're not even trying to interact with it. That's what it means.
Bro.
That's what it says. Bro, I'm not making this up, bro. It says it right here. Prejudice, preconceived.
So let me ask you something. When somebody
reason or actual experience.
When a person says we are investigating a complaint about a racist abuse, what does the word, when you look up racist and they forget about every other fucking word in that sentence and they look up racist, what would they be looking for?
You said what? Hey, my fault, nigga. You talking too fast.
All right, listen. If I say we are doing an investigation complaint about a racist abuse, what are they looking for?
Racist abuse? What are you talking about? Racist abuse? That don't even make sense. Who's doing an investigation on a racist abuse?
On that line right there, the sentence under there that they use for that to explain racism, they use in a pre-example sentence. It says we are investigating complaints about racist abuse. How do you explain that to somebody?
Bro, I can't explain that because I don't even know.
See what the fuck I'm saying, though, bro? You sitting up.
I don't even know what you just read, bro. I don't know.
Look on Google under the word racist and look for the sentence that they use as an example on how you use the word racist properly in a sentence, and look what sentence they use for that. How would you explain that, and what would you tell a person? Since you saying it, that racism and prejudice ain't the same.
Listen, bro. Let me tell you.
And I'm just asking. Answer the question, though, bro. How would you explain it?
When you say we investigating complaints about racist abuse, right? Mm-hmm. When you say that, all they talking about is this person being discriminated against? That's it. That's all they saying. If I don't like you because you black, if I don't like you because you white, that ain't got nothing to do with. That's just me being prejudiced.
You do it. It's part racist, prejudice, discrimination. It's part.
Racist, not racist. Can actually like you though. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Racist can actually like you, hang out with you, and kick it with you.
Prejudice and discrimination is still part of racism. I mean, racist. It's still part of the definition that we just read, bro.
Bro.
So it's okay to use one word. You can use prejudice. You can't use prejudice, but you can use discrimination to define racist.
But what is discrimination, bro?
It's okay to not use prejudice when you're using racist, but you can use discrimination because that's what you're using. To swap out the word. That's what
you can discriminate against somebody for their race, they physical abilities. You can discrimination it's a large range of words that you can use for discrimination. Bro.
You flipping around the question, dog.
I'm not flipping around nothing.
You're saying you can't use discrimination. You can use discrimination. That's still under racist, under that same definition. I mean, when we look up the definition of racist, discrimination is right after prejudice.
Bro, you do know you can use words to
I know that, and I just said that. But you're trying to say that you can't use prejudice for races, but you can use discrimination for races.
What? No, I'm not, bro. What I'm saying is this.
When I rewind this, I'll send it back to you because
because I'm gonna be saying the same thing.
No, it's not. And I asked you the question.
I haven't changed my standpoint on this at all.
Because you're wrong on this, dog. I'm sorry, fam. You can't use.
You are a racist, bro.
You can't say that you can use discrimination, but you can't use prejudice, and your words is in the same definition, bro, under racist.
It doesn't matter if they're in the same definition, bro. You're gonna use words to describe other words. It's just what it is. What I'm saying is this: if you are a racist, if you're a racist individual, racist people hang out with the people that it has nothing to do with them altogether. When you are prejudiced, you don't do that. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I've been saying, the same thing the whole time. I haven't changed what I'm saying. A prejudiced white man will not even get in a car with me. Period. It's not happening. He don't know me. He don't want to know me. He ain't trying to get to know me. A racist white man will laugh and have a beer with you.
It don't say prejudice like that. It say on the action of experience. So that means that the person had an action of experience with a black person.
No,
does it not say that?
That's not what it says, bro.
It says an opinion that is based on a reason or actual experience, bro. I know what I'm reading. That's what prejudice says on Google, dog.
My G, you just cut that whole preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience.
I did.
That is not based on reason or actual experience.
But okay then.
Not. That means I don't know why I hate this motherfucker. I just do. Or I don't know why I don't want to be around him. I just don't. That's what prejudice means, bro. Not.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that part. But it doesn't mean, you know what?
That's what it means, bro.
No. I'm not saying that's not what it not means. But you're trying to say that you can't use, but it's still under racist though, bro. So you're just saying that they put prejudice under there for no reason, just to trick people?
No, I'm saying we use
because that's really my point, is not saying that you're wrong on the wrong prejudice. You just can't take out the word prejudice when you're using racist, because that's what the definition is defined under, bro.
What I'm saying is, bro, the way we use words is stupid. Because if you call somebody a racist, there's nothing wrong with somebody being racist.
I don't think nobody.
There's nothing wrong with.
Okay, I'm not gonna say people don't say that something's wrong with being a racist, because
there's something wrong with being prejudiced. Because
I'll go to this then.
That's a mental disorder.
We'll go to this, right? We'll flip. It's the subject, but we'll flip it.
I believe.
We can go to this, right? I sent you a question earlier, this like yesterday, right? And before I say the question, right? You have a scenario right now that just happened, and I just spoke about this the other day with Q, with the NFL draft, right? And with the scenario going on with Shador about, and we can go to how we were just speaking on racist and prejudice.
Okay.
You might be right in a situation when it's go to racist and prejudice, because I do feel like this. It's all 32 owners, not minority, but owner that made a decision are racist. But they're not prejudiced, because they wouldn't allow black people to be on their team. In a way.
So how does this issue with Shador become about race?
How you mean? How does it? I don't. Because I feel like this, and I'll say this, right? The way Shador handled himself and pre like how he carried himself, and sort of they don't like that coming from a black man.
So how does that have to? What that have to do with his race though?
Being black, because I feel like you have a Johnny Manziel, you have a you have a Johnny Manziel and a Baker Mayfield that were, if I'm not mistaken, first round overdraft pick that have adapted part of our culture swagger. Johnny Manziel was known for this shit. Johnny Manziel was known going for drinking and doing all partying and being black and out doing pictures with LeBron James, having that same characteristic similar to him. And I'm not trying to make it about race, but what I'm saying
is, so why wouldn't that be a prejudice issue?
All right, then maybe I'm wrong. Then maybe how do you see it? Then how do you feel like it's a prejudice issue? Then because I didn't feel like it would be a prejudice issue because I don't feel like you said, they as a prejudiced person, you wouldn't even want to be around that person. No, not going off their experience, not basing it off nothing. You just don't want to be around black people, right or wrong, right?
I didn't say black people. I'm just
speaking on black people. Speaking of race.
What I'm saying is prejudice. This is why I was telling you it don't have anything to do with race. I can be prejudiced towards you because you got tattoos in your face and not want to be around you.
So how would you bury this? So how would you look at this?
I can be prejudiced towards you because I've never been around let's say, black man. It ain't got nothing to do with his race. Or I could be prejudiced around, let's say it like this. I can be prejudiced with you. I can be prejudiced with you because I've never been around a quarterback that ain't my skin tone that acts like this. I don't know what that is. I've been around white boys that act like this because, hey, they in my family. But I've never been around, I don't know about that. So that I could be prejudiced towards that.
But see,
you know the first overall pick was a black man.
But you have been around black people that have acted like this. So I can't say that.
How would you feel? How would you
the whole fucking team, the whole coach, the whole NFL from
bro, hold on. First of all, let's
not the whole NFL.
Let's break this down. Let's break this down to a T. Only 3 teams actually need a quarterback.
But how many quarterbacks went before Shador?
Don't matter how many went before Shador. Only 3 need a quarterback.
How many went and took a quarterback though, bro?
My point exactly. I'm making my point here.
Okay, go ahead. I want to see what.
There's only 3 teams that need quarterbacks.
I think it was more. Tennessee needed a quarterback. Raiders needed a quarterback.
2 of them were black. So how does this become about race? Or more so about your behavior? Is his behavior wrong? I don't see nothing wrong with his behavior. It's kind of how I play football myself. But
I think there's nothing wrong with the behavior.
Rub people the wrong way with that type of behavior. So that's what I'm saying. This had nothing to do with race.
And I'm kind of getting confused because you're saying it has nothing to do with race but it's not a lot of black quarterbacks. Cam Ward is a nonchalant person. Has nothing that
we don't know Cam Ward. I don't know Cam Ward personally. I can't say that. I don't know him. He's
very nonchalant. He just said it himself. So I'm telling you, I do that.
No matter what he say, I done seen him on videos cocky as hell. So I'm gonna take what you telling me. Nah, I done seen him and the boy.
Nonchalant don't mean. See, that's where you're getting the wrong thing about. Nonchalant don't mean you're not cocky. I never said nonchalant meant that.
My point exactly. So
okay, let me break it down.
We don't know this guy. We don't know him personally.
Let me break it down. Nonchalant don't have to mean you're not cocky. And we explained this shit yesterday. Nonchalant is an attitude of you don't have to show. It's an aura. It's something that comes off on you that people just gonna know what the feeling of how you present yourself as a person. You don't need $100 million change to show who you are. You don't need the earrings, the diamond ring. You don't have to tell a person who you are.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand where you're going with this.
What I'm saying, listen to me, bro, because we might have different opinions about this. Because you say Shador like that and stuff like that. I ain't never really seen you be too well for flashy guy like Shador in my life. So you don't like a certain thing.
I said I played the game like that.
Okay, that's my bad for misquoting. But what I'm saying is this. How you carry yourself into a place where when I say it's like this is a business, right? NFL is a business company that is ran by some owners and a commission. These commissions and owners come from a different mindset and a different way of living and thinking of how they handle their business and how they want somebody to conduct or be presented for them in their franchise. As the quarterback, you are the number one person. That you are the face of the franchise. Usually 9 times out of 10. Usually 9 times out of 10. You are the franchise person. You are the person. Yeah. So how you are presented in the media or how you are presented in some type of way, that goes a long way. And sometimes, in my opinion, I feel like they don't want that type of person being the front. Like they don't want that type of person with that demeanor, that cockiness of showing it all in your face for you to know it, or the way you present yourself of a backwards hat in the media when you're handling your business and you telling people just go check out my film. That don't come off well sometimes with that it's gonna look bad. Now, is it bad? No. I'm not saying that.
So let me I'm just gonna play devil's advocate here. If I've been burned, if I done drafted people like this before and I done got burned by this same type of behavior, you think I'm gonna be willing to do it again?
I'm gonna be honest with you, yo, because I've seen people get burnt plenty of times and keep doing the same thing.
I'm saying no.
If you're asking
I'm talking about an idiot. I'm talking about somebody who runs business, who takes care of business. I've been doing business for a long time, and I've been burned by somebody with this same type of behavior before, i.e., Johnny Manziel. With this same type of behavior.
Yeah. Because if you want to bring up Johnny Manziel, I'm gonna bring up that same team that has took.
I said I'm playing devil's advocate here.
I'm just saying when it comes to
business, I've been burned by the same type of behavior before.
Yes, because I feel like
do I continue to make the same mistake?
Yes, because I do feel like they can benefit in some way. Some people feel like they can put money in your pocket and maybe you will change, or maybe they're willing to take the risk or the headaches that comes with the talent. Now, I don't know if they felt like they was willing if Shador had the talent, or they was willing to deal with all the headaches that come with all that, the media, all that certain stuff that come with Shador, if the talent added up with that. I wasn't in no
meeting. He's very talented.
I believe so too. So, I can't say what they believe.
What I'm saying is this. Devil's advocate, right? I ain't never seen it. A lot of things play the factor in this kid falling to the stock. Do I believe him? No, but a lot of things could play a factor. This kid ain't never been coached by nobody but his daddy.
True.
How we know he gonna receive the coaching well?
So you think that he only can be coached by his dad?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
Well, let me play David advocate.
Let me
play David advocate. Right? His dad wasn't an offensive coordinator. His dad also had. His dad, when they went to Jackson State, the coordinators that came from Jackson State to Colorado wasn't the same people. So to me, he has had different coaches now, also along with his dad in college. Now, I do know his dad would probably make the final calls. Don't get me wrong. I know that. Now, but he has been taught the game. He's been around the game.
I'm not saying he didn't.
I'm not speaking to you when I speak to this. I'm just.
If I don't like a call, and I don't like what the offensive coordinator calling, who you think I'm going to? My daddy. Who's the head coach? Now I'm in the NFL. My dad ain't the head coach no more.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this then.
All of this shit play the factor in it. I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm just saying if I was a GM, these would be questions that would come up. If I was the GM or a head coach.
You don't think they asked him that? What if they asked Deion that?
Ask Deion what?
Can we? All right. They went to Deion because Deion, this has been said, allegedly, that he's spoken to a lot of these teams. He went on Gillian $1 million worth of games, said he blocked, his team, his son wouldn't go to certain teams if, they would make that call. I've also seen somebody else do this back in the day when we was growing up. Eli Manning and Archie Manning, when Archie Manning did the same shit with Eli Manning. So I'm trying to understand the two different when you say something about it's not about race or prejudice, because I've seen it done as well. But hold on.
That shit happened 20 years ago.
didn't you say just an hour ago everything ain't shit changed? But I guess there's certain things that haven't changed. But hold on. So it's okay for Archie Manning people not to feel like Eli went and called Archie Manning, and Archie Manning can make a better call than maybe Deion Kennedy's owners. It's cool for that shit. We just playing David Advocate.
Bro, listen. People are trying to take something that happened 20 years ago and
it shouldn't matter when it
does. Nigga, we live in a whole totally different time. First of all, these are not the same situations. First, let's get that understood.
Hold on. How was it not the same situation?
Archie Manning was not the head coach at Ole Miss when Eli came out.
He didn't have to be the head coach.
So these are two totally different situations.
You got Archie Manning that was a well-known, I ain't say good, New Orleans Saints quarterback. You got a brother that played a goddamn Hall of Fame brother already in the goddamn league. Peyton Manning, well respected. He probably was in the league like maybe 4 or 5 years around that time when Eli was coming in. You telling me Archie Manning don't have that pull?
Bro, Archie Manning, that was 20 years ago.
I didn't ask when it was. I asked when you don't think.
Bro, we live. Look, listen. You gotta understand what comes. Like people try to. You can't take what happened 20, 30, 40 years ago and try to apply that to today's time.
What's the difference in terms of how you get drafted? I mean, only thing that changed in the draft was the fucking when they show the shit and how many goddamn minutes is lessened. The only thing that really changed in the NFL are the rules that get changed every year. Everything that happens in life, regardless.
The process of the draft changes, situations, everything. All of this shit has changed, bro.
One thing I agree with you is with this, bro. Business is business. Do I think they would have took a chance? Matter of fact, fuck that. I want to know why you feel the way you feel about that shit. Because to me, you try to always say that it's not about race, but neither one of us is back there in the room. I don't know what you go through in your job, but I've been through a situation when I was in them talk, like in jobs and talk, and I know what race, like how it feels to be, how it feels to be blocked from something or somebody else taking credit from your shit off just the same characteristic of what they did at your door. I've been through that. I ain't even gotta fucking prove it. You ever fucking work with me at Jimmy John's, then that.
Check your phone, man.
I got you. My bad. I'm not going. Oh yeah, when I cut this out, you won't have to worry. I'm not cutting those parts out anyway, so you good. But I got you. I know what that feels like, but I also understand from their point of view. Now, me running my own business, I couldn't be the front of their business of how I was carrying myself. Even how good I was, how talented I was, how I could do stuff, it was the perception that I gave off. And I think that has a lot of reason to do with what Shedeur went into and what happened. I think Shedeur need his dad to be a great quarterback.
I don't think he need him either. If you play for, bro.
You're not saying that, but I do hear a lot of people say that. So when you brought that up, it just made me.
No, what I'm saying is this. I'm saying a lot of more factors. I can see if this situations, just because it's similar don't mean it's the same. And I think that's what people kind of get mixed up.
That's true. No, that's true. That's true. But what do you feel like? What do you feel like with the difference in situation? Don't say like it's about the coaching because neither one of them have coached in the NFL, Archie or Deion. So
no, I said Archie was not the coach of Ole Miss when Eli came out. Now, if Archie was a coach, hold on. Look, if Archie was a coach of Ole Miss and Archie had been coaching Eli from the age he was, and Eli never had another coach but Archie, then I could be understanding to this situation now. People.
So you don't feel like it's other NFL players that's play with their play underneath their father, or their father had an input of what things go on in their football careers as far as like before they got to the NFL? You don't feel that way?
They wasn't a head coach though. It's a difference, bro. It's a difference, dog. Like if your daddy voice
I
is
just don't
the
see
only voice you've heard since you was hell
And
5 or 6 years old.
what's wrong with a father doing that?
I'm not saying nothing is wrong with it. What I'm saying
they do it,
is,
but we can't do it.
who else has done that? Who else has coached
How many
their son?
coaches? So you tell me there's
listen.
no other coaches out here that's been, and I mean not black. We talking white head coaches. A lot of white head coaches. Matter of fact, Jake Matthew, the Matthew brothers. I think their father was a head coach. Wade Phillip got boys. It's a lot of head coaches out here,
bro. Listen to what I'm saying. This boy has been coached by his daddy since he was 5 years of age. From 5 to 22. I ain't talking about, he just played for his daddy in middle school, or he just played for his daddy in high school. We got a lot.
I know it's other coaches that have done that, bro.
No, what I'm saying is you got a lot of coaches who've done that. I coached him in high school, but he went to college and played up under somebody else. There's a lot of coaches who've done that. We talking about this boy ain't heard nobody else's voice in his ear.
That's not true because he had other offensive coordinator. That's not true. What's up?
Bro, an offensive coordinator and head coach is totally different.
Today, and but I'm talking about he gonna go over there. Like go shop, he gonna go over there. Like she gonna pick him up to go shopping, and he gonna come back.
So practice. I got you. Okay.
Here.
All right. Hey y'all.
No, let me tell you why I'm leaving the house. I was going home.
I'm on live. We text to me and we'll talk when I finish. All right.
Hey, you in the house? You here?
My bad, bro. It's other coaches that have coached their son, and I get what you're saying. And to me, feel like they might have. We can't just like say that he didn't have other people in his ear just because his dad was the head coach. His dad had a whole team that was around Shador too, bro. That he had other people around. So I just don't want to do that to them, bro.
Bro,
I don't want to do that,
bro. The last we talking we talking about head coach. When we talking about the coordinators don't matter.
Why? You told me not to.
Yeah, I just saying.
I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
The coordinators don't matter, bro. It don't. I mean, whatever that head coach say, that's what it is. It don't matter.
But no, what I'm saying is this: he's not with his dad. I mean, he could be, but you could say it don't matter or whatever. That's fine. But even when he go to college, he's not gonna be on the head coach. He's gonna be with the offensive coordinators. He's gonna be with the quarterback coaches. See, this is who he's gonna be working with.
That's not true, bro.
In the NFL, you think bro? Who else he gonna be working with in the NFL?
I'm saying is this: when he's at Colorado, he's with his daddy.
That's
when he's at Jackson State. He with his daddy. So what I'm saying is,
but how? Okay,
it's totally
different. You're not speaking on when you play, so don't do that. You said it's a different. I'm just giving because. How do you know that? Because I want to give it to you. I don't want you to speak on when you played.
Every football locker room is the same, bro.
So you telling me every football locker room is the same, but the draft could change.
The what?
Nothing. You saying shit could change with the draft and how the draft preparation is, but shit can't change in the locker room and shit. How that changes?
Football is football. Football don't change, bro. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Look,
I said the same.
Every quarterback is you're gonna be with your offensive coordinator, but you are tied to the head coach, bro.
This is coach. Stop acting like with the position coach don't matter either.
Look, bro, every quarterback is tied hip to hip with the head coach, bro. It is simple as that. I don't give a fuck what school, wherever you go, the quarterback is tied hip to hip with the head coach, bro. That's just what it is. And you can't change that. Don't matter. It don't matter about the offensive coordinator, the defense.
I don't agree with that. How did Jake McDaniels get a job as an offensive coordinator, head coach? How do these offensive coordinators? How do these offensive coordinators matter? We talking about how people are talking about how Caleb Johnson is going to look now. I mean, how not Caleb, my bad, but how Jared Goff is going to look now without his offensive coordinator from the Lions. Now, they're not talking about how he is with the head coach. They're talking about how he's going to look without his offensive coordinator around, bro. So I don't want to discredit that shit, bro.
I'm not discrediting it. What
But
I'm
I
telling
never
you
said that the head, but I know he might be like that, but he has to earn the. When I say this, he has to earn the start. He's not the starter yet. So right now, when he's being in the NFL, he got to be in that playbook, and he's gonna have to be underneath the quarterback coach and the offensive coordinator. The head coach ain't gonna be studying that nigga right now.
Bro, you asked me a totally different question than what you are saying at the moment. You asked me, what's the difference between Archie Manning doing what he did and Deion saying what he said about what he will do? And I'm telling you that there's many factors that play a role in that situation. So if you have a quarterback who's only heard his daddy's voice since the age of 5, playing quarterback for every team that his daddy ever coached, that's going to be a problem. It may not be a problem. He may take coaching well, but in their mind, in a executive's mind, that may become a problem. Because guess what? My daddy a Hall of Famer. This head coach, he never played in the NFL. So in his mind, my daddy word maybe this is probably what the executive is thinking.
Okay, let me ask you.
My daddy tell me in film and what my coach telling me in film is two totally different things. My daddy Hall of Famer, one of the best to ever do it.
So you don't think no other player at a different position would do the same thing?
Bro, their daddy ain't Deion Sanders, man.
Deion Sanders not the only great player that's ever came out the league, though. And got sons that's in the NFL.
Hold on, bro. Let me say something to you. Deion Sanders is probably top 3 out of every position that's ever came through the NFL. Top 3 best players of all time. Mm-hmm. This is a different situation. This is different, bro. It's different. I can see if he was like a Shannon Sharpe or something. It'll be a little okay.
Don't do Shannon like that.
I'm not saying Shannon
as a
Sharpe
tight end, though,
I'm not saying Shannon
but
Sharpe
as a tight end,
he's the Hall of Famer. He's not
bro.
top 3.
Not in his position.
Fuck position. Any player that ever played a game. Top 3. Deion Sanders is top 3.
Yeah, but
Jerry Rice.
I think what we
Tom
have to go.
Brady, Deion Sanders. Top 3.
That might be.
Bro.
I mean, yeah, but.
Oh, and I forgot Lawrence Taylor. Shit, all of those are interchangeable. I ain't even gonna put Tom Brady in there. Lawrence Taylor, Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders, top 3.
Jerry Rice, son, I don't know if he's in the league, but let me ask you this then, Brandon Rice, huh?
He played for the Chargers.
Okay, then Brandon Rice right now playing for the Chargers. You don't feel like he gonna listen to his dad if he got to that level? He not gonna listen to Jerry Rice before he listen to the wide receiver coach or office coordinator. You don't think he would do that too?
Yeah, but his daddy ain't coaching him since he was fucking 5 years old.
Your coaching as a father don't stop.
I ain't talking about coaching as a father. We talking about football. We ain't talking about fatherly. We ain't talking about nothing that got to do with the dad. We talking.
But I'm saying football. When I say that, and what I mean by that, I don't mean it just stop just because you go to it. Like if you call me, my son is playing for a team, but if he call like today, right? My daughter asked me something. She just asked me something, right? Something simple. So I'm like, if she go off to college or if she go off anywhere, if you go off anywhere. And they might ask you about this subject. Your coaching and your teaching don't just stop. And I know you're not saying that, but like I was saying, just because I'm not your coach no more, I'm not there physically every single day. That don't mean that you can't pick up the phone. We could go over this. Even Ray Lewis said that he would go over. He would call you could FaceTime your kids. We could go over this. Now I don't want you to do this. Go do that. Do this. I still can do the same thing. We could go run over plays and do the same thing.
Let me ask you something. Deion Sanders criticized your head coach. Archie Manning criticized your head coach. Who you think gonna have the most coverage in the media?
You can't ask me that because I'm gonna look at it from a different point. But if you really want me to be a subject person, I will.
No. I'm asking you a simple question. If Deion Sanders is your daddy and he criticized your head coach, right? Archie Manning is your daddy and he criticized your head coach.
Go ahead.
Who do you think is going to cause the most distraction in the media?
Distraction? Yeah. Okay. Now you rephrased that question. Distraction.
No, I didn't. I asked
you said distraction. You didn't say distraction. You did not. I promise. You did not say distraction.
It's gonna cause a distraction, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Hold on. But the distraction, hold on. When you say distraction, it could a distraction. I feel like it could get when Deion do it. It might be a media distraction because it's gonna get out in the media. How I feel like if Archie did it, it would be handled behind the scenes.
No, what I'm saying is,
you asked me a question. I'm just giving you an answer.
No, listen what I'm saying. If it ain't gonna be able to be here behind the scenes. If Archie Manning and Deion was sitting on the couch, Eli playing, and Shador playing, right? If Deion Sanders tweet out something,
see, now you use a tweet. Archie not gonna do that.
Hold on, I'm not saying. I'm just putting them in the same perspective. And Archie Manning tweet out something about the head coach. Who do you think is going to get the most coverage about this shit?
I can't say that, bro. Because
no.
Because
when
Archie and Eli did that shit was out for weeks, and you know that, bro. So we can't say,
that was 05, bro. We didn't even have social media.
Exactly. So you're comparing.
So what I'm saying now, listen.
What
I'm saying. What I'm saying is this: if they were to do that today, right now, in today's time, both of these people are living.
It would be big today as just as well with social media, bro.
No,
you thinking the Art the Mannings don't have that same type of hit and power that Deion do in the league?
Boy, I said
you out your mother. But God,
listen,
don't know, bro.
What I'm saying is this:
you lost your mind thinking that shit.
I know this.
No, you have. Archie got
if Archie Manning was to say, man, that's a terrible football call by whoever, let's say Arch Manning when he get in the league. Oh, that was a terrible football coach by whoever his coach is. And Deion say something, it's two totally different things. First of all, Deion is, bro, you seen what this man did. He went to
Chad, I need to check
ESPN.
Who got more pull in the NFL right now if they want to make a fucking call? Archie Manning or Deion Sanders?
Deion Sanders. Hands down.
But you got your goddamn mind. We gonna see next week. You know what's so crazy? You know what's so fucking crazy? Archie got a grandson that's about to come out. And if I promise you,
he'll be out 2 years from now, 2027.
If Archie Manning, if Eli, Archie, Peyton did not want something to happen, he will make that call and make that call. It'll be totally different.
We'll see, but I doubt it.
How you
know how I know I doubt it? Because if they wanted to make a call, they could have did it while he was in college.
They could have. You don't know if they made that call though to make him stay. You don't know what call they could have made.
Make him stay? What do you mean make him stay?
To make him stay at Texas. You don't know what call they could have made. You don't know what they got going on back.
He said it. I went to Texas because Steve Sarkisian will give me the better route to playing NFL football. That's what he said.
Okay. That's what he feels. That's what he feels. I don't feel like if Steve Sarkisian that would have did like that. I feel like if he went somewhere else, he could still be number one. Because what I'm saying right now is like this. You doing that? Quint Edwards was a top-rated quarterback that was supposed to be top-rated when this season first started. He was top 5 quarterback. He didn't barely get drafted. Exactly. So Steve Sarkisian didn't do that great with that one. So you don't know how everything will turn out or how everything's going out. Hold
on. First of all, that boy is trash.
We saying he's trash, but Archie couldn't win the starting quarterback over him.
Why?
I don't know.
Why? Because he's gonna be there for 4 years.
That don't mean a goddamn thing.
Yes, it does.
No, it don't.
First of all, one thing we gotta understand.
You wanna know why? Because when DJ Ladwick came into Florida, right?
We talking
DJ
about
Ladwick. Huh?
We talking about Arch Manning. They don't. None of them. You're gonna finish.
You don't think? Hold on. Have you seen?
He's not coming out early. He's gonna finish school. He got 4 years. He can sit.
That's because his family wants him to do that.
No, that's what they do. This is not. That's not a.
No, that is what they do. But that's a family thing. But that's a family thing. I don't know if Archie really wants to do that. I can't make that call, even though he said it. Just like you said a minute ago with Cam. Just because Cam show us something on camera doesn't mean that that's how he is behind closed doors. So I don't know that call. So what I'm saying is that's yes, you're right, because Eli stayed 4 years, Peyton stayed 4 years.
That's what they do, bro.
That's what they do. So that's a family.
Shador stayed 4 years.
But that's to me saying to me, right? To me, that's not to say that Archie didn't want to leave. That's not to say Archie didn't want to leave, or he wouldn't have stayed a 4-year college. We wouldn't have stayed at a 4-year college if he transferred to another college in a better situation. You don't think it's better? Okay, then let me ask you this, right? Bill Belichick is at North Carolina. You don't think Bill Belichick would have been a great opportunity for him to learn to be a quarterback when he literally coached the best quarterback?
No.
Why not?
Because Steve Sarkisian has put more quarterbacks in the NFL than anybody, and we don't know what kind of quarterbacks Bill Belichick has put in the league.
Here.
Bill Belichick coached in the NFL. He was already in the league. He never coached college. You don't even know how this college experience is going to go for Bill Belichick. So we can't say that. Steve Sarkisian had his hands on everybody.
I don't know about that one.
And he run the most pro-ready offense. So,
if I'm not mistaken, Nick Saban ran a pro offense too, and that
who did he have as offensive coordinators?
He had Lane Kiffin. He had your boy that you just talked about, Steve, the boy from the one that he had all them. He had all them.
Exactly, bro.
Okay, but what are all the you talking like that? But nigga, what quarterback from Alabama right now can we really talk about that's good?
The motherfucker that just won the Super Bowl. He started at Bama.
That's one. Go ahead.
Okay. The motherfucker that just got paid down in Miami.
I say Miami. You got to.
He got paid.
That nigga barely hate on for life. Go ahead.
He got paid.
A lot of you get paid. Trevor Lawrence got paid. That don't make him great.
Trevor Lawrence is at Jacksonville. It's Jackson.
This is my point exactly. Don't make you great. Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be this pro-type quarterback that ain't never been seen
he ain't
before.
been there for 3 years, 4 years.
He ain't about shit, dog.
How you know he ain't been there for 3 years?
Fuck out of here, dog.
What are you talking about?
No, dog. Man, back to Alabama. What other Alabama quarterback do you think could have been? Because I don't believe, because you giving Steve Star, whoever this, Steve Star best, whatever, this thing like he's won this great.
Motherfucker coached Peyton Manning. This motherfucker coached what's the other boy? Andrew Luck. I mean, these not no slouches.
He coached them where? In college and NFL?
He coached them in the NFL.
They was already in the NFL, right?
So
he didn't help them get to the NFL, but they was already in there. I'm just asking.
No, they got to the NFL.
Without him, right?
Peyton Manning's first offensive coordinator.
Without him, right?
What you mean without them?
They got there without those two coordinators.
So you think Peyton Manning? Hold on. You think Peyton Manning became Peyton Manning without him?
You don't think Peyton Manning could have been great without Steve Sebastian?
Fuck no. Did you see Peyton Manning his first year?
All right.
So we just not going. So Peyton Manning didn't play 1 year.
Did he have?
Peyton Manning didn't play 1 year
with Denver. Was he with him with Denver?
No, he was old and washed up.
But he still won a Super Bowl though. It's what I'm saying. So he didn't need them all. Like you act like he.
No, he had already. Bro. He was.
How long did it take him though?
He was in year 17.
How long did it take him to win his first with him though? How long did it take him to win that first one?
What do you mean? How long it took him to win his first one?
How long did it take him to win his first Super Bowl? Since you want to give Steve so much credit,
he won it in 2006. So.
And how many did Tom have by then?
3.
Okay then. So even with all that,
I don't understand where you're going.
He had all that. Because you trying to make it seem like he needed Steve to be great. You didn't need Steve to be great, right? He didn't need Steve to be great, bro. Even okay.
Tom Brady?
Yeah, I know. I'm saying what I'm saying is he had Steve. You made Steve seem like he's this, and that. But he didn't do enough for Peyton to get past Tom Brady.
You also got the greatest defensive coach ever on the other sideline. This is defense win championships, bro. Ain't nothing changed about this shit.
Bill ain't won without Tom, bro.
Huh?
Bill ain't won one without Tom.
What that got to do with defenses winning championships?
Tom
Brady didn't win. Hold on, let's not get this under misconstrued. Now.
Tom ain't do what?
Tom Brady did not win every one of those Super Bowls.
Nah, he didn't. They won by some field goals. They had a good defense one year. Okay.
No, not 1 year. Every year. Every year they won the Super Bowl. They was top 5 in defense. Every year.
I don't believe that one. Not every year. I know Patriots had some bad defenses, bro. Because you ain't hold up. You forgot the ones they lost. Are you even forgetting the ones they have lost? Now they
lost 3 Super Bowls.
18-01. They lost to 18-01. You saying, bro? I mean, we can look up Google right now. Whatever you want to look up. What year? Every year, New England. Every year they won the Super Bowl. Every
year they won the Super Bowl. The opposing team scored damn near under 20 points.
Hold on, bro. Denver defense won that Super Bowl. As far as Peyton Manning first Super Bowl, it was 06-07. He was the field general of a great offense, but their defense was just as good. To be honest, the Patriots spy cam was a big help too.
I ain't making this up.
You ain't say all that.
I ain't making this up, bro. Defense win championships, bro.
Yeah, you trying to get that point of view, but we wasn't talking about Peyton Manning defense.
We talking about Tom Brady. Every year Tom Brady won the Super Bowl, he had top 5 defense.
That comment didn't have nothing to do with
Facts.
that. That comment didn't have nothing to do with that though.
He was just talking about the Peyton Manning situation. Well, I'm telling you, his defense wins championships.
I never disagree with you with that. But you trying to make it seem like you trying to take it away from Tom Brady and stuff like that. They wouldn't have won that without.
No. I didn't take nothing away from Tom Brady. He was on the team, but he didn't win those.
He was the team.
Man, you listen. So Teddy Bruschi never played for the New England Patriots.
They win that Super Bowl without Tom. Tom don't get them down because you got to remember they got to come back. They had to come back. That first Super Bowl they won, they had to go down that field to come back to win that. So the defense let St. Louis score. Right. If Tom don't get them down that field to make a field goal, what fucking happens? Because the defense let St. Louis score it, right? Am I confused? Am I wrong or right on this? You not answering the question, bro.
I ain't got to answer.
Wrong or right on that?
Go back and you pull up the clips.
Exactly. I'm asking you a question. You don't want to answer the question.
What I'm saying is this, my G.
Tom Brady still got them there, but the defense usually win them through the playoffs. I never took that away. I never gonna take them through that defense. But hold on. The only reason I say
that, Super Bowls, bro. Tom Brady.
Let me clear something up.
Under 20 points.
You don't have to have the greatest defense in the regular season to have a Super Bowl type defense. And when I say that, Kansas City has had some terrible defense sometimes going into them Super Bowls and came out victorious. So it doesn't add up all the time to say. And I've seen the best defense lose compared like when San Francisco had the better defensive end against to me Kansas City and they lost.
What year are we talking about?
The year. What
they
year?
Played them twice. What year are we talking about here?
What year Kansas City had a better defense than them? Hold on. Last year they should have had been in the Super Bowl. Which team should have been in the Super Bowl? They was in the Super Bowl last year.
They shouldn't have.
Oh, should not. Okay, they should not. Why? Because of their defense? It wasn't because of the why shouldn't they have been? No, it probably was because of the offense. The offense. What is your reason of why they shouldn't have been in the Super Bowl last year? So, like, I really want to know this because I don't want to take nothing away from people. Like, I'm not finna do that. And it seems like you taking that away from Tom, bro.
Man, I'm not taking nothing away from Tom. The stats say everything, bro. The numbers. The numbers say everything, bro.
Both sides of the ball was nowhere near elite.
These are facts.
How are they facts, bro? When you say
they had the most drops in the NFL last year, bro. The year before, not this past Super Bowl. The year before.
Who had the best defense last year? Why they didn't make the Super Bowl?
They did. The Eagles. They won it.
Not number one defense. I mean the year before that. My bad. the Eagles did they have the top rated defense last year?
Yeah, they did. Number 1 defense in the league. I think the Ravens was right behind.
Who was the year before that? Ravens?
I think the Ravens was behind them.
Denver and Philly had the best defense last year. And Denver, where did Denver? Denver made the playoffs, but they ain't do nothing. Or did they make the playoffs?
Denver made the playoffs. They just lost.
So that's what. Okay, then. So you can have the best defense, but just having the best defense, you still need that quarterback that executes.
They got a rookie quarterback. They had a rookie quarterback, bro. Who winning with a rookie quarterback?
Jalen Daniels did fine. And Washington had a top 5, top 10 defense.
Did he play in the Super Bowl?
They 1 game away. Don't do that.
Play in the Super Bowl.
1 game away.
You just asked why the top defense went in the Super Bowl. Did he play in the Super Bowl? No, he did not.
Next was the Ravens and Chargers. Chargers didn't even make the the playoffs. So you that's what I mean by it varies. You just saying it does vary because every team the Chargers didn't make the playoffs. Denver didn't even make it out the first round.
What they got to do with anything?
You need a quarterback to at least be able to get you there and at least be able to be a game manager or be able to get you down the field in the last minute.
You need a quarterback now in today's game.
We're talking about today's game right now. One of the last few subjects, like as far as when we start talking about Peyton, and we've been talking about the Eagles and the Patriots. So we have been talking about the last few years. Jaden gonna be a problem for the next 15 years. He on another level, and he will be facing a top-rate defense in Eagles. I can't say what they might be, but they will be a top-rate defense, I believe.
We shall see.
We agree, but we're not going. I do feel like this though. I feel like Jalen will get to a Super Bowl, and I feel like even if he don't have a top-rate defense, he will get them there and win one. So you don't believe it? Why not? Patrick Mahomes does it.
Patrick Mahomes, Jaden Daniels ain't Patrick Mahomes, bro.
We don't know what Jalen is. That's gonna probably be his only wall. I believe so. We can't say what he is because Jalen Hurts beat him, and he could have beat him the next year.
Bro, Jalen Hurts ain't Patrick Mahomes, bro.
No, he's not, but he beat him. So that's why I'm saying you don't have to beat somebody, but he beat him.
Eli Manning beat Tom Brady. He ain't Patrick Mahomes. He ain't Tom Brady.
Will Eli go down in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, he gonna go in the Hall of Fame.
Then it don't really matter. He got 2 Super Bowls off Tom, 2 losses. You feel me? Even Russell Wilson got a loss on him. You feel me? So, huh?
Why?
Why what? Why what?
Does he have 2 Super Bowls over Tom Brady?
You really want that answer?
Why?
The defense.
My point exactly, bro.
But you the one that said New England had top-rated defense. I never said that. Came out my mouth.
I said the years that they won the Super Bowl, he had top 5 defenses.
What was they taught? Hold on. That year they was 18-0. Hey, Slim, what that year back in New England when they was 18-0 versus New England?
Outscored everybody.
What was that defensive ranking?
They didn't have good defense. They just outscored everybody. They had Randy Moss.
And they didn't get blown out in that game. So it's not like they couldn't have won that game. So it ain't like the defense fucking just blew the game.
I said every Super Bowl that they won, they had top 5 defense.
And what was their defense versus Carolina that year versus Carolina? And what was it, 2003?
I think they was like number 2 or 3. They had top 5 defense. Bro.
I'm about to look.
If they don't have top 5 defense, they don't win the Super Bowl. Simple.
That's not true because Kansas City won the they Super Bowl without top 5 defense.
I said, you talking about the Patriots, bro. You tripping.
And I say that because you keep talking about the Patriots, but the Buccaneers. What was the Buccaneers that year? That the Buccaneers they had a top. Did they have a top-rated defense? Yes. I don't even know. Huh?
Yes, because Tom was terrible that year.
What was it? Fourth best with So they had the 4th best with Moss on the roster. Was that offense or defense? I'm not talking about offense. I know they had a great offense. I'm talking about defense.
They had the number 1 offense.
No, I knew they had a great offense. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about defense.
I said when they won the Super Bowl, the years they won, they had top 5 defense.
I know. We talking about that.
That's what I'm saying. The years that they won.
But okay. back to okay. Since we got a person there, I want to ask Slim this. Slim, let me ask you this, bro. Who got more pull right now? If you made a call, if we asking today, right? If Archie Manning or Deion Sanders got more pull in the NFL right now, I want the answer to that. Hold on. They allow 17.1 points a game. The defense was fourth best. Okay, so the defense was fourth best that year. So they didn't have a sorry defense, bro. So you was wrong.
You said what?
They didn't have a sorry defense that year that they lost that Super Bowl.
I didn't say they did. I just said when they won, they had top 5.
Thank you, Slim. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell somebody over here, that Archie will have more pull, but he don't want to listen to nobody today. Because
first of all, that's not the conversation.
Ask your question. I'll tell you.
Second of all, the question was, who would be the bigger distraction? If they send out tweets, who's going to be the bigger distraction? That was the question.
Send out tweet. Archie don't send out.
If they would,
it's you
verbatim. I'm gonna say verbatim. If Archie criticized your head coach or Deion criticized your head coach,
he comes from legacy. Deion's creating his still. That's what I'm trying to explain. Archie.
What the fuck that got to do with if I say something about the head coach? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. What y'all talking about?
You're not listening.
If Deion was to say something, criticize the head coach on national TV or in a tweet or whatever, Instagram, whatever, it's gonna make more noise than Archie Manning. I'm telling you, it's just what it is.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because you act like social media.
You gonna get more news coverage.
You act like you don't believe that the Mannings got more pull. Could get more news coverage than Deion. You don't believe that?
I don't.
Man, you out your goddamn, bro.
Okay.
You out your goddamn.
I heard Archie Manning say stuff about thing. I ain't never seen shit go crazy like Deion.
Oh yeah, it's going way up. With who?
With Deion. I'm telling you. It's Deion Sanders, bro. What's up, man? Come on, man.
I don't believe credit, man. I believe. If you're saying it'll cause more distraction in a bad, negative way,
no, it's gonna be a distraction. Period. Don't matter if it's negative or positive. It's gonna be a distraction.
Yeah, Deion. I don't believe that, man. If Deion said, I can't. Right. But you're not saying why.
You're going to find out sooner or later.
But why? 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 Why do you feel like that's more of the distraction than Archie?
More of a distraction.
Huh?
Because it's Deion Sanders. This ain't got nothing to do with how many, who is who. And
a distraction for who? The team?
It's going to be a distraction, period. It don't matter the team, organization, the quarterback. It don't matter. If Deion criticized the head coach and Archie criticized the head coach, it's going to be two totally different things.
So why? Why? Because Deion's a head coach?
No, because Deion is Deion Sanders, bro. What are you talking about, bro?
I think
listen.
Exactly what the media is.
If Arch Manning was a walk in the grocery store, nobody is going to know who the fuck Arch Manning is, bro.
People keep trying to act like Deion just that same person he was when he was 20 and something, but like, bro, that's not Deion. Now his son might be that image now, but that's not Deion. Deion ain't that same person.
What are you talking about? Deion he never been nothing different.
Deion ain't going out. He's still flash, but he's not as flashy. You don't see down with the change and everything like that.
Bro, that's not what I'm talking about, bro.
Then explain it, bro. You know,
I just explained it. I said if Deion is to criticize Shador's head coach, if he just say, "Hey, that was a stupid play by Kevin Stefanski,"
but why wouldn't it have the same effect? Archie played the same position.
It's not gonna have the same effect, bro. It's Deion Sanders, bro.
Why? With who? The media?
Because it's Deion Sanders. What are you talking about? Why?
I think that's exactly what the media. Hold on, bro. That's exactly what the media wants. If the media controls what makes it a distraction, because it don't have to be a distraction. If Deion put it out there, which I don't think Deion would do that to make it a distraction for his son anymore right now. Anymore.
If it happens, it's gonna be Deion.
I don't think he would do it.
If Archie's playing and Archie say something, it's gonna probably be on the news. It's gonna pop up there. It's gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah. If Deion say something, that shit gonna go crazy. That's what it is, bro. It's Deion Sanders, bro. We're not gonna
let me ask you this, then.
Deion is Deion Sanders, bro.
Let me ask you this.
Is crazy.
Why? Because I sent you this text, bro. Why sports players, and I'll Slim, you can answer this question too. Chat, y'all champion. Why do sports players and entertainers get paid so much money, but our teachers, firefighters, and doctors get paid less? We wait in line for Beyonce, Kanye West tickets or Jordan shoes, but we will not take our kids to doctor visits or show up for a PTA meeting.
Who the hell got time for that?
You can. They have ways now where you can. They do FaceTime with your PTA meeting, so you don't have to travel there. And if you can make time, I ain't gonna say who got time for that. If you can make time for Beyonce and get your ass to a Kendrick Lamar,
it ain't entertaining.
So hold on. This go back to my thing earlier when we say. So you saying in the entertainment is more important than shit that is really supposed to be important?
In America, yeah.
I don't even know how to fucking what the reply to that shit. Like, why would that be more important?
What do you mean why it would be more important?
Why is entertainment? Because I say, okay, why do I say that? Because
entertainment makes billions. No. School? What do you mean? The importance is a place where the money is.
That's the problem I'm trying to point out.
In America, boy, capitalism rules. This is what it is. I don't make up the rules. This is what it is.
No, you don't make up the rules, but you're not helping right now, bro.
I'm just telling you. You asked me a question, I gave you an answer. That's what it is.
Yeah, but you're not giving nothing to your answer. You just gave a place answer, but you're not giving nothing behind it. Because I feel like, yeah, it's entertainment. This could be entertainment. This is entertainment. Feel me? But it could be knowledgeable. It could be something that's very important. But then we go back to where we say we don't know certain stuff because we go to our entertainers. We go to certain things that don't have no meaning to it because it entertains us for a second. It frees our mind to it from what we're going to. Not saying it's wrong, but then we bullshit on the shit that's really important. Fuck entertainment when it comes down. You saying, okay, yeah, that's entertaining. But if a doctor stopped doctoring, if that's even fucking word, but if a doctor stopped practicing his practice, who the fuck gonna give you your medicine or say do your operations?
I think doctors should stop practicing medicine. They don't know what the fuck they doing anyway. But that's another topic for another conversation.
No, you ain't said the shit. No, I ain't got nothing to do. Say what you're saying. I didn't expect you to ever say that shit, but I want to hear. I just want to hear what you got to say on that.
Doctors should stop practicing medicine. They're not teaching you how to heal people no way. It's fact.
The doctors learn all their information from the European teachings of whatever schools and information books that they're given to. So are you saying that the information in those books is bullshit now?
Yeah, it's fact.
So what about this stuff? So what do you feel like people should?
Dr. Otto Warburg, the man who discovered cancer.
Hold on, bro. I understand what you're saying, AJ, but the day an elementary school raised more money on a Friday night basketball game more than the Magic City Monday, then to pay the teachers more. You know what's so crazy? A lot of them teachers, I mean, what's so crazy is the same
teachers on the stripper pole. See how much money they can make.
I was just saying, or it's like this. But see, I think when you say that, Slim, I feel like a lot of shit, our priorities is in the wrong spot. Because we don't have to go to a fucking strip club.
Bro, hold on. Let's get something understood. Priority only matters to the person that it's prioritized to. So business,
I don't feel like that. I feel like a lot of people run away from their priorities too.
Well, we're not talking about people. We're talking about America. America is a business. So America is meant to make money.
PTA meeting in the conference river. Hey, Slim, you out on that one though.
America is a business. America is here to make money. They don't give a damn about kids.
We're not. You know what's so crazy? You keep saying America. I ain't even fucking worried about America because, like you just said, we have the money and structural power to do for ourselves. So I ain't really worried about America. When I speak to my people and I speak to people that, you know what I mean? I don't really, but I see where you're going with this, but we don't have to, like, that's to me, is like you saying, like, we dependent on the government in the way still. I don't give a fuck what we have.
Let's not act like some people don't value education. Some black people value education. Everybody just don't disvalue education. That's not.
Like you just said a minute ago, we ain't talking about them people. Well, when I say we talking about black people, you said we ain't talking about them. We talking about America. We ain't talking about them people. We talking about people.
Well, I just brought it back down to the surface level where you was. You said you talking about speaking to the people. Why do they pay more for entertainment than them kids going to the doctor and stuff? And I just told you.
For entertainment, but buying shoes at Jordans is not entertainment.
Shit, to some people it is. Damn, boy, look at it. Some people it is.
As stupid as you just did that shit, as stupid as it sounds. And it's not to say to you, I'm just saying the mentality where
that's what it is.
But the mentality that we're in America, it goes back to like what I was saying about the movie. We prioritize certain things and we miss out on like messages. Then we complain about certain things. We'll go buy shit from Jordans, then don't have no money for we won't have no money for our bills. We'll go pay for a concert. We'll go to these NFL games. Then we're going to talk about, oh, damn, we'll go call somebody and say, I'm late on my rent. I'm late on my payment. We don't prioritize certain things. And then we be like, oh, it's entertainment. I just want entertainment. It'd be the bullshit. That's bullshit. Because it's a cap out. It's just, to me, it's just bullshit. Because, like, you can't, unless we're going to go back to the days where you sit your ass there and teach your kids, or you going to be like you gonna be that one that do everything with your kids and teach your kids certain things. You need these teachers, but if they not feeling valued, they not feeling like their work being paid, and then all the shit's changed. Who motherfuckers gonna blame for certain shit?
Well, we should go back to teaching our own children.
That day happened. America will at least be 65. I mean, is that a bad thing though? I don't feel like that's a bad thing. Like, certain things that we go back to, I don't think it's bad all the way.
You said, what do you mean?
Because we always talk about if America do this certain ways, or if we like certain things change. I've always heard, I always hear people that black people were striving during the Jim Crow, right after, after slavery, during the Jim Crow. So when I say that, I'm not saying I wanted to go back to Jim Crow, but if we do a lot of things, if we go back to thinking that I gotta do this or do that and build for our own, maybe things would be a little different. My kids, I see, okay, right? If your kids see that you are an entrepreneur, right? Even if they go to school, their first value might be, in my mind, shit, my daddy, I've had my daughter come to me and tell me, Dad, I don't really want to go to college. I see how you do things, and so I'm more cool. Like, I see that. They see this. Instead of you just pushing school on your kids, and so like, you got to go to college. You got to do this. You got to go work a 9-to-5 job. You got to get a 401k. You got to do this. This is the same mentality that was passed on. When is it going to stop? Because as long as the same things keep going and going and going, things are only going to get worse, I feel. Because it's the only thing that's going to happen. The motherfucker going to keep complaining, keep doing this, saying this and that. They don't have this and that. When is it going to stop? Because things ain't going to change and get better. So where do we find the end ground and try to get things better?
Yeah, you start with your own kind, your people, your household,
your family.
That's it. Start with your own people.
How would you start, if you mind me asking?
With the family that I'm trying to create. That's it.
When you go back to, when you say family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying, because when we say family, right, the black, and I think this was also in the movie too, the black family meant something back in those days. Nowadays, in our
family still means something.
To what race we speak? And I'm not
to the black family. Black family still means something.
Can I ask you something? How many? I'm not speaking on you because I know you're real close with y'all ever be you not might be close. I don't want to speak for you, but I do know you spend time with your family. How many people do you know go to family reunions? How many people do you know their actual like grandparents, great grandparents, know that side of their history on either side of the family?
Black people that live in the country, they do.
You can't change the world. You can only change your world.
It's a fact.
All right, let me ask y'all this. We say that, and they say that, Martin Luther King had an impact on the world, right? Do you agree or disagree on that?
He had an impact on the world.
Yeah. That's what's being said. I'm not saying
he didn't have an impact on the world. He had the impact on America.
Agreed. True. Great. We'll stay right there. We just talk about America. Did Malcolm X have an impact on America?
No.
Just on black people, you want to say?
No, he just had an impact on the people that he was around, that followed him.
All right. So who do you feel like had an impact on the world then? Nobody?
Nobody had an impact on the world. You got to think. We talking about the world.
Well, let me slim it up then. Who do you feel like had an impact on America? I don't want to speak on the world because when you do, you're right. Because when you speak on the world, you speak.
America is the only place.
Yeah. You're right. I had to really let me rephrase that. You're right. But what you say, Slim? Yes and no, because what he did was still going to happen regardless. That's why black people don't mind linking with him.
Who are you talking about?
Who you talking about, bro? Because I don't know if that would have happened with or without him. Who you talking about? Because I also got to go back to Marcus Garvey, too. That also had an impact. But can you just say it was in America at that point? Because you got to think about at that point of time when I'm speaking, the majority of people that was in America was a certain amount of, like, it wasn't as, it wasn't as many ethnicity. Oh, MLK. He said MLK. So you believe that was going to happen with MLK? You know what? I can kind of agree because they probably would have just got somebody else to do the work.
What was going to happen with MLK? Integration?
You got to Slim. What would you mean is going to happen when he said MLK? Yes and no with MLK because what he did was still going to happen regardless. Yeah, what was going to happen with that?
What was going to happen with what?
No, I'm asking Slim that question because he put that up. So I'm trying to see where he's going with that. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like we're stuck in we're okay with certain entertainment just being entertainment when it's like it is entertainment, but everybody don't know. It goes back to the R. Kelly thing when I said everybody don't know how to separate entertainment from the real life person.
Of course they don't.
As far as in this segregation, how you like? As far as in the segregation, so you feel like that was gonna happen regardless? How you feel about this, CJ?
I don't think it was gonna happen regardless. They just had to trick us into doing it. Because you gotta understand, them black folks that got off that plantation weren't trying to fuck around, to be honest. Y'all stay over there, we good over here.
But it wasn't.
They weren't trying to fuck around, I'm telling you.
So which black people are we talking about? Are we talking about just the black people that
came off their plantation?
Are we talking about the people that was just in the South?
I can't speak for motherfuckers in the North because I don't know what they was doing up there. But I know them black folks that came out that plantation they weren't trying to intermingle and do nothing. The older crowd, it was them young folks that wanted to hang out with each other. But so you got to understand when they coming into play in the 60s, the 50s and 60s, when they coming into play, you know, that
yes, probably wouldn't happen that soon, but
racial tension wasn't as high. You see what I'm saying? Like it was high, but it wasn't. You got to understand when you got a new generation, a wave of kids coming in, they not understanding what's happening.
Do you feel like the Martin Luther King didn't listen to the older people back then, or they wasn't with the same program as the older people because they felt like they wanted the help from the government? They wanted to be not even that. They wanted
that shit. They knew what they was doing.
They the new generation wanted, because when we talk, right, and I seen Charleston Wright talk about this right now, we don't have the same equal rights and protection, but we have the crime law, right?
What?
He said we have the crime law, but we don't have equal rights and protection.
We don't have a crime law.
Exactly. That's what he means. Well,
we don't have a law that protects black people from.
But no, he's saying that's why if you do something, like if a black person do something, it's just a crime. We don't have like a no crime law. Like you can't do this. It's like it's illegal to do this. Like the no Asian have a no hate bill. We don't have no. Yeah, Asian have a no hate bill. That happened in like 2000, right after.
So do gay people. So do gay people. They got a hate crime. Yeah.
Black people are the only one that don't have those type of bills and rights, like that protection. They gay people have that protection. Asian have that protection. White have that protection. We don't have that protection.
Well, that's because equal protection under the law is, I don't think it's as bad as it is as it was in the 50s and 60s. Because you still have law.
But
see, civil
rights
not
as bad. You're right, but we don't have a bill. That's for us.
But I think we should stop looking for that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why? So why would every other
because if we was just say, hey, look, this is what we doing.
Hold on, bro. Yes, we do. It just don't be applied. It's a couple Karen caught cases.
Yeah, I think if we stop focusing on.
Is that a government law or state law though?
I don't know.
So I'm talking to Shalom. Go ahead, my bad.
But if we just stop focusing on all of these problems and start focusing on solutions, we'll be all right.
What are the solutions? And I only ask you these repetitive questions because it's like we're making this content. I make this content because I always listen to what you say. We have to be the voice, and we have to tell the younger generation this type of stuff. I like to promote my stuff on TikTok. Say that again, bro.
Education, information. It's the only way we're going to change the circumstances of black people in this country.
That's why I ask these questions a lot and see to get our reaction and stuff. I promote it on TikTok for the younger generation to see, because a lot of times you see fellas get on here and they say a lot of this stuff and they just be saying stuff and then it be bullshit. I think people do a lot of shit just for views and stuff, but I be meaning this shit when I speak on certain shit like this, because you cannot say that the information was never out there.
But but this is the thing though.
If we start recording these racist motherfuckers and take it to social media when they do it and just press charges, the outcome would do better.
I think we're worried about the wrong thing.
What should we be worried about?
We should be worried about building a better community. Our community is in shambles. And at this point, I mean, the problem, the solution is just build the person next to you. So if you build your son, you build your daughter, they can go out and help build the next person and build and build and build. Then we can stop complaining about what racist people do. Why we don't have nice black neighborhoods? There's just black people out there. They got nice white neighborhoods. They'll call the police on your ass if you're in the wrong spot. Why we don't have nice black neighborhoods? If we do, somebody point one out for me. Why all the grocery stores?
I do.
All the grocery stores in the inner city look like shit.
Don't quote me, but I have heard I have heard of Baldwin Hills in California being a black town like that, like a black community like that. Do not quote me, but I have heard that.
I don't know. That's in California. We talking about in the South, baby. What we talking about?
Well, I don't want to. I don't.
Well, and that's just one.
I can't limit myself to
if it is, that's just one.
I mean, but it's just one. It's like just one. It might just be one, but one is better than none. And it's just one that I'm like saying. I don't know what else could be in other.
And we don't even know if that's a fact. So
yeah,
what I'm saying is, like, what are we doing? Like, we're gonna continue complaining about what the white man is doing. I me personally, bro, I done heard stories. I'm not saying that these this is not happening. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is this: it's not happening as prevalent as it was in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, where black people was even scared to say something to a white boy or they was gonna get hanged. I'm not talking about that's not happening today.
But you know what's so crazy? Back then we was thriving better. So it's crazy to me is this, right? You say that we was thriving better back then.
Right.
What happened? See, the point is this: we always talk about we was thriving better. What happened that we went separated?
Drugs, segregation. Integration. Drugs, integration. No, it's not no secret. We integrated. We able to move away from the neighborhood that we living in, which wasn't a bad neighborhood, but you have black people like Martin Luther King who wanted to hang out with and party with white folks. Not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying this is what happened. It's a historical fact. So if you move the doctors and the lawyers and stuff out the neighborhood, let's just case in point. In these nice neighborhoods, these nice predominantly white neighborhoods we talking about, they got doctors and lawyers and dentists that stay out there, right?
Yeah.
All right. So if my kids grow up in this neighborhood, they come across doctors and lawyers and dentists that stay in that neighborhood.
That's right. That's true.
Where the black kids grow up at. What doctors and lawyers and you see what I'm saying? What people are you seeing on a day-to-day basis? So
the thing about this, when you say that, right? The Koreans, the Asians, if you go to Gwinnett County right now, the Koreans have their own community inside of these communities still too.
Chinatown.
So it's not possible for us to have our own community even in these towns.
Yeah, it is possible. You just got to do it. Ain't nothing wrong with a black, bougie.
Fuck you, I ain't know that. My bad. Go ahead, bro.
Ain't nothing wrong with a black bougie neighborhood. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Shit, make you some money, you can move out here too. Or shit, move into the hood and build it up. Hell, let the folks that ain't renting that live on the block, let their property value go up.
Building in the hood. When you tell a person to build in the hood right now, you're also telling a person with everything that's going on that day that you have to try to work with a community with kids that see you as a threat. You also have kids that see you, they don't want to listen to you. They don't feel like the information that you're getting is cool. That goes back to what I was saying how they give the information.
Why though?
And
then why they see
hold
it?
Hold on.
See, all I hear is problems.
And then when you put something up for the end of the community, they destroy it. So it don't make you.
That's only because we just throwing it up and then leaving. We ain't out there hanging
out.
I
disagree with that because they killed Nipsey. They killed Nipsey.
Man, Nipsey was a gangbanger, bro. Simple.
Snoop's
gangbangers don't live that long, bro. Simple.
That's a lie, because Snoop still living. It just depends on the.
Snoop is not a gangbanger. He's a gang member. He's not a gang banger.
Okay.
And you think Snoop's still out there in the neighborhood hanging out?
But hold on. You just said why not? Hold on though. You that's being hypocritical. You just saying forget if he was a gang member or gang banger. You can't, when you part of that gang, you can't just jump in and jump out. They have rules and laws on that. So however they do that. What I'm saying is you're saying we need to go back to our community, but then you just said, Snoop, don't go back to our community. So which one is it? How do we do this?
What you mean? Don't. What you mean? You can do it.
I said how. I didn't say. I said how do we do it? If you saying these people don't.
The normal. We ain't talking about no damn celebrities, bro. We talking about normal people that that get up and make a good living every day.
That goes back. Time out. That goes back to this. Then you think they're gonna listen? They already don't listen to their teachers. Don't listen to the fucking doctor. You even said on here, I don't think we should listen to the doctor. So these are people that's in the community that you telling that we should not listen to. But then we need.
Let me ask you something.
Then you want normal people in the community.
I think you missing a vital part of this stuff. If you see if you see a doctor if a doctor move into the neighborhood and he pull out his garage a nice little BMW or Benz or Rolls Royce, you think that kid ain't gonna listen?
No, I think he's gonna rob him.
Nah, but you think that the kid won't? And look, he
depending
come out
on the kid. I don't
listen. Hold on. See, it's more parts to it. You ain't just got to live there. You got to be acclimated there. So if I pull out my garage, I'm watching my Rolls Royce and shit, and the little nigga down the hill, they playing football. Oh, hey, let me see that ball. Let me see that rock. Okay, I get the ball. I'm out there. So now, you think they're not going to inquire about what I do? See, this is how you change it. Yeah, he might be in a fucked up environment, but if I'm here too, and he can see, oh shit, he live right next door to me. How you get to do that? Yeah, my mama at work every day, but he live right next door to me. He pulling out a Benz, a Rolls Royce. So what's going to be attractive is what they see. If I don't see you every day, cool. I see entertainers on the TV screen. I see them every day. So yes, that's
talking about.
If I see you in my neighborhood,
I think you've been out of Atlanta. I think you've been out of Atlanta too long. They see entertainers every day, bro. You could go up to Linux and see a famous person any motherfucker.
I'm not saying that. I'm talking about in my neighborhood. How many kids, bro? Most people that stay in these little neighborhoods, they don't leave outside of that neighborhood, bro.
I agree with that.
They're institutionalized to the neighborhood. So I ain't talking about that. I ain't talking about you see T.I. pull up on the block. I ain't talking about that. You see Young Dro. That's still entertainment. I can see him on TV. I'm talking about the dentist.
They don't respect the dentist. They don't respect.
It's not about respecting the dentist, bro. You gonna respect what's in your vicinity. So if I'm pulling out in a nice car, listen. If I'm pulling out in a nice car, and I see some 11, 12-year-olds in the neighborhood, they like, oh boy, he got an SRT. Hey, y'all come up into my yard and hang out.
So you never heard a little baby going to the hood or something?
Him going and him staying there is two totally. You think little baby still got a house out there? I done seen him in his house. It don't look like it's in the middle inner city of Atlanta. I can tell you that. Come on, bro. We talking about if you want to make the change. Bro, I'm
gonna say you see you right with a certain part, but it still starts with a mindset because I could put.
You're gonna change the mindset. The mindset change when you in the neighborhood.
So why do they goddamn gentrify the hoods now? If they want to do that so bad, and I'm asking this question, right? We could do this stuff all the time. Why do they gentrify the hood? Before we can get a chance to do that, why do they come take our shit or they gotta take our land?
Should start gentrifying neighborhoods.
They what? They just started.
Black people should start gentrifying neighborhoods.
Oh,
maybe wealthy black people.
I thought you said something else. You're right.
Moving into the neighborhood and building it up. It's simple, bro. It's a simple fix, bro.
I think it's simple to fix, but I don't think it's as simple with the mindset fix. I don't think it just is that.
The mindset's gonna change. It ain't gonna happen overnight, but the mindset's gonna change when they start seeing the young black professional in the neighborhood.
We haven't seen that yet, so I would not disagree with you.
I'm telling you what is it. I'm giving you a solution.
No,
young black professionals stay in the neighborhood. Stop moving out to the suburbs. Out here where you come in the neighborhood, come in the hood and teach. And then you stay out in the county. Move in the inner cities and see what happens. I'm just being honest.
I can't say what's going on because I don't know what every doctor live at. I don't know where.
I can tell you right now, ain't no doctor on my block.
You in Alabama? I can't speak on that.
I can tell you right now, ain't no doctor on my grandma's block. Ain't no doctor staying out there in the apartment house. Am I right or wrong?
Nah, you're not wrong.
So, bro, if you want to change the community want to change, gentrify your own neighborhoods, move into the neighborhood. Yeah, you're gonna have some issues. Yes, you're gonna have some issues. You're gonna have some little badass Section 8 kids out there. Yes, you're gonna have it. But if you want to change the neighborhood, it's an easy fix, bro. It's an easy, simple solution.
All right, bro. How long you got? I got one more thing.
I'm here. I ain't got nothing to say.
We didn't get a chance to get into this shit last time, but I want to get into this because I just did into it. I really wanted to talk to you about this. These people going to the moon. We've been talking about this back and forth, flat Earth, round Earth. I was just talking to somebody about this shit the other day about the map being upside down, just different things, man. How do you feel about these people going up to the moon and what they trying to put in the media as we have been to the moon, going to the moon is real? Everything that they trying to put out in the media. How do you feel about that?
Prove it. That's how I feel.
And I'm not saying I want to. We'll go back to the Joe Budden thing, the bad behind the scene of the scientific theory, right? A scientific theory is supposed to have been proven that the world, that everything that they proven with the globe being round, the earth being round and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I never seen nobody that could source with
it. They can't prove it.
Because I've heard people say, why do we keep getting the same picture from the same angles?
Prove it. That's all I'm saying. If you gonna tell, so let me say this.
And who was the person that went up to the moon and took a picture of it being round? Is my thing. Like, who went up to wherever they went to and been like, oh shit, bang, this is how it looks.
Let me say this. Anything, a theory is just an educated guess. Are we all
an educated thought?
Yes, it's a guess. It's an educated guess. I'm just thinking. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about theory, we just in thought. But these are facts. So facts is there is a guy by the name of Admiral Byrd who did some excavations to what's called Antarctica, and he wrote down what he seen. That's a fact, right? Yeah. That happened. Mm-hmm. So he said,
Admiral Byrd that went over.
Yes, yeah. He said he sailed around. He sailed for miles and miles, and this shit became a circle. The wall was high, like 50 feet high, and it was a circle. Mm-hmm. He said that in his journals. Do I think he's going to lie about that? No. There's a fact that there were maps way before that this map that we use that said it's a landmass that's around the continents that we live on.
Julie. Go ahead.
These are facts. So what people, this is what they try to get you to believe. Blind faithfully believe that the people before us had all of this technology, sophisticated technology. But now we're going to fast forward thousands of years later and say what they were saying, we don't even have half of the technology that they had. And what they saying was false. That's what they leading us to believe. We don't have nearly half of the technology that these people were working with back then. You can tell by the structures and stones and stuff that's put up. Fast forward thousands of years, they saying that, what they were saying back then was false. This is what it is. Come on, bro. Who we fooling?
And let me ask you this.
That's like, look, this is basically what I'm saying. This iPhone, a person with an iPhone 1 saying iPhone 1 technology telling me that what you said is what your iPhone do ain't got nothing compared to what mine do. It's similar. It's the same notion. You got an iPhone 1, but you telling me, boy, my iPhone can do this. But I got a 15. Like, make it make sense. It don't make sense.
I think what people get is they feel like but when it comes to people like this, as far as scientists, people that really study certain things or just in certain fields, whatever it is, I don't trust them all the way because I feel like if you learn the information, sometimes you will hide the information and just give what you want to give out to manipulate the people. So I've known that it can go all the way back to the files of JFK, MLK. It's certain stuff they give the media that they want you to know and they hide the rest. I don't understand this though. It's been proven facts that scientists make mistakes, doctors make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes on what their theory or what they might do. Nobody's correct. So why do we feel like a man that might study science or whatever, or we feel like science is just always correct? I don't feel like science is always correct.
All I'm saying is prove it. Like, I can prove that water is gonna level out anywhere else, any capacity that it's in. I can prove that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just prove it. That's all I'm saying. If you tell me something, prove it. If you say, "Hey, I caught your girl cheating, bro. Your girl was cheating on you." All right, prove it.
So let me ask you this.
I took pictures. I got pictures of her. She hugged up with dude. Just prove it.
So them sending them up to whatever they say the moon is their way of proving or trying to show us. That's what they feel like is proving.
That's not proof, bro. You sent the motherfucker 11 minutes up into the air and came down. I know motherfuckers who dropped out the sky longer than that. Skydiving.
So what was that? And I wish I would have. Did you watch the video when Mark was talking about gravity?
Bro, there's no such thing as gravity, bro. Explain a helium balloon.
So you don't believe in gravity?
Oh, no. What, bro? What goes up must come down. That only happens on what?
What's up must come down.
Bro, that's proof. If I throw this up, it's coming down. It ain't got nothing to do with the density. If I throw this up, it's coming down.
Hold on. So let me ask you this. When a balloon goes up in the air, it don't just come down.
If it has helium in it, it don't.
So
okay, then make this make sense. Why is NASA? Why do they spend billions of dollars on helium?
So it won't come down.
I'm just saying, we just got to make it make sense, bro. That's all I'm saying. Just prove it. Prove that it exists.
So would you want to see them try to prove it without helium?
What? That something go up in there and it don't come back down?
Yeah.
Well, the only thing that we know that does that is helium. That I know.
That we know of right now. That's been proven.
That I know. That I can put helium in a balloon, and if I let that motherfucker go, it's gone.
It's like I get like that is true. And somebody said that they never seen a plane circle. You gone?
Mm-hmm.
You know. All right, man. Be good. How school's all right?
Yep.
All right, be good. Make sure you do your running.
Okay.
All right. You're right on that. Like, I get that. But why does it feel like, I don't know, but I feel like I'm missing something, though. Like, because I want to believe it. Like, I just really want to know, but we really don't know. Like, we just really don't know. And I don't know if we'll ever know in our time of what the world, what it really looks like. But
bro, you're just getting the plane, bro. Just getting the plane. That's all you gotta do, bro. In order to prove your hypothesis, just go up there.
I've been up there a few times.
Get in the sky.
I ain't trying to go in no plane. I don't want my ears popping right now. I'm not saying like I sit by and when I fly, I sit by the window. I'm one of them people that like to look out the goddamn window to see what the fuck going on.
Hey man, you can prove everything that it ain't nothing on this planet that can't be proven. Get you some money, build you some rockets, go up there. You'll be able to tell people everything you want to tell them. Just saying, It ain't. I mean, it ain't rocket science, bro. They try to make rocket science like it's hard. It's not, bro. This world is not rocket science.
It's just a rich man trick.
Trees don't grow sideways, bro. You ever been riding down the road and seen a tree poking out towards
That's my other way.
Like, come on, bro. Everything goes up.
I would, if the world was round, let me ask you this, Dan. If the world was round, how would water level out?
Make it make sense. The ocean is level.
It would have to, something would be off balance. Even when you measure it, like you would a balancing scale.
All right, then also look at this. If it wasn't a circle ring around this motherfucker, put water in the bathtub and see what it do. Don't it swish back and forth?
Yeah.
From the hey man, it's common sense shit to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you got.
So why would you? So my last question, I'm gonna let you go after this. What's the point of proof? Like, what's the point of? All right, sweet question. Right, I'll go back to this. Back in time, right, when they were sailing, right.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they use a round mouth to sail? Because you notice every time I notice, I seen like a movie. They got a map. They flying that motherfucker out.
I ain't never seen it like.
Every time they fly that motherfucker out.
You gotta go over this curve.
They never use a round map. So
what
was the agenda of making the world, us to believe that the world is round?
I don't know. I'm going with my flat theory. I'm looking at what I
did think of that the other day. I was like, even like when they was on boats, I never seen a round map that they use. They always, unless I just never paid attention. I've always seen them use a flat surface map.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the Moors gave.
I ain't never seen a nigga pull out a globe and be like, "Hey, look, we gonna
go around this motherfucker right here."
Never seen it, bro. I don't believe it.
Even when you look at a compass, it's not round.
Stars don't change, galaxies, all that, man, prove it. Everything points north. Prove it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't even like theory.
And if the world is spinning, right? Wouldn't we be able to feel that?
They say you ain't supposed to. That's what they say. I don't know.
I'm
trying to figure out what is like. I'm trying to figure out who had the bright idea to even say that shit. Like, yeah, man, we live on a globe. Like, I want to know who bright idea was.
And to me, when you driving, no matter where you driving, the surface is flat. If the world was round, I'm saying like I'm just picturing a globe and trying to drive on a globe. Living on a globe and trying to drive on it, I don't see how that levels up.
I wouldn't even try to see how it levels because it don't make sense. So whenever they can prove it,
and I don't know if people ever think of those type of theories either. So, and they probably do. They never say it. I just giving out theories for other people to think about when they say they think about this Earth and global shit. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm not saying they right or wrong. These are just things I wanted to point out for motherfuckers to think about.
Show me a real picture of somebody up there taking a picture of the planet.
I never seen that. I never seen the person either. Who they never mentioned. We always know. They always try to put with Columbus. They try to say he made him. He did America. He found America. There's always a person they tried to say this, and that. I've never seen a person they gave the title to being able to be the first person to go up there in Earth and give us the right picture of this is how it looked. I never heard of that.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Prove it. That's all I'm saying. If anybody approach me with anything, prove it. If you can't.
And why did it take so long?
I don't care.
Why did it take so long for them to go back? Because they had the technology before they said to go up to the moon at one time, and they never went back until now. What make the technology totally different then? Because we have way better technology now. Way better from the gaming systems, how we played, the Nintendo 64, PlayStation, everything technology-wise. everything technology-wise is more clearer. The cameras are clearer. You can do totally different things. Why did it take us so long to go back in space if we have better technology? What are we missing?
Because they never went.
All right, then, bro. I appreciate you coming on here, bro.
Hold on, man. Hold on, goddamn. Let me say this too.
Oh, go ahead. Do what your thing, dog.
Shannon Sharpe told y'all he was a trick.
Oh, we ain't talk about that. Damn.
He told y'all he was a trick. He told y'all. So y'all been in uproar. Oh, he talking to a lily white girl and all the other.
We're supposed to talk. I'm glad. Never mind. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's wrong? Because we're supposed. I'm glad you brought it up. Do you feel like that's wrong, or if he did anything wrong?
Oh, he did. He done did something wrong. He ain't just clean. Now. He done did something wrong. You don't just offer up $10 million if you ain't did nothing wrong.
Do you think he did something wrong, or he didn't want it to get out to mess up the image that he has to lose that bad?
But that's the thing. Why do we keep putting these let me say this.
Go ahead, bro. I was trying because I seen you young. I ain't want to keep you. I meant it. I'm glad you brought it up.
I ain't take my my supplements today, so
okay.
What's that? But why do we try to hold people to standards, or why do people try to portray this certain type of image in out in the public, but they do these wild, unorthodox things in private? And that's my biggest issue with the world. This whole politically correct thing.
But did he do anything wrong?
I don't think he did nothing wrong. The girl is of age. They had sex, whatever. He tricked off on her. He didn't do nothing wrong. But people have this idea that since Shannon is a 56-year-old man, 54 when he met her, he shouldn't be able to engage in this type of activity.
We'll talk later. No, I'm not doing that right now. Go ahead.
And they believe he shouldn't be able to engage in this activity. But bro, he grown. He's an older gentleman. Yes, he is. But he told y'all he was a trick. He been saying this.
Is it Madonna? I think Madonna is dating a black young man that's maybe half her age right now. I don't hear the same uproars on these people when it's a woman doing it.
Listen, no, it ain't gonna be the same uproar. Because she's a woman. She should be able to do that. And she should. I'm not saying that she can't. I'm just saying let's
big black dark skinned man do it. It's a problem.
Yeah, but let's not be hypocrites, man. Now, me personally, I'm not gonna engage into no type of conversation with a 19-year-old. Just mentally, we not. She just not there for me. You see what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen. 19 is like, okay, all right. Well, I mean, come on. But that's just me. But she is what she is. She on OnlyFans. Shannon is a trick.
Do you think he's a trick, or do you think that
he said it? I'm not saying. I'm not putting words in his mouth. He said this stuff. Yeah, I buy a bag. Yeah, I buy them titties if she won't. Yeah, he said this stuff. Those are quotes.
I did hear her say that. That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Dude.
Bro, look, this is what women have to realize, bro. Dudes with money are going to trick. As simple as that. If you got a whole bunch of money, you're going to trick. Now, me personally, I don't have to do that because I talk pretty good, and women tend to do, I'm pretty persuasive in some aspects of my life, and I'm good at it. So I ain't got to fork over no money. Now, will I give, help my lady out whenever she needs it? Yeah, I do that. I help friends all the time. But as far as like, this is the communication we're going to have, I'm going to give you this and you're going to give me that. That's not, I'm not doing that. That's just me personally. I'm too much of a player for that. But rich dudes with money, they'd rather pay you to leave than rather, go through all the extra stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's the like better way for them to say it. I'm paying you to lead. I mean, you paying with that shit. I don't care how you sum it up.
Well, they talk about that, but man, if I take a chick out on a date, I'm taking her out. I'm gonna pay for it because I want to do that.
That's not a actual.
Yeah, like it's not.
You're
like
not giving her the actual money.
I hate when people say that. Like, oh man, you gonna pay one way or another. You take out on a date, you paying for it. It's like, no, you're not, bro. I'm paying to have a good time and a good experience with you. I'm not paying to have sex with you.
You're right, and I didn't mean it like that.
No, I'm just saying that's what people say. I ain't talking about you. I'm just saying that's what people say. I hate when they say that.
And you're right. So let me clarify for these dumb motherfuckers. When I say I'm talking about these people, like he said, these people with high amount of money that want to trick, they use, rather than them saying that they're paying for the sex, they want to use another version of just I'm paying you to leave. If you're giving her the money before, and I mean giving her the money, I don't mean taking her out to enjoy an experience. I don't mean paying for her to go, like you're going to a movie or you're paying for dinner or you're doing that. Hell, you doing that's just life. Taking somebody with you, that's not obligating to saying that you're looking for something beneficial afterward. Y'all just going for the experience and time. But if you're paying for, you know that you're going to get something out of this as far as a benefit to you, because you don't know that when you're paying a transaction to a dinner, movie, or nothing, and you might not even be looking for that. But if you're paying her money directly and you're looking for that, that's a different conversation right now.
It is.
You get what I'm saying? And a lot of people you're right, they try to, I just don't like how they down it. Like they try to turn their back on Shannon. But don't get me wrong when I say this. Shannon put himself in that predicament.
Yeah, man.
Shannon was warned twice. Shannon had that situation on, I can't even speak on, but he had that situation on Instagram. That was your first. You put yourself in these predicament that you shouldn't even have to put yourself in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna speak on that whole Instagram situation because I don't know what that whole thing was about. I know what it was about, but I don't really too much care. But what I'm saying is this: people try to look at it as if he did something wrong. She's saying that he did something wrong to her. I don't know the logistics of it. I ain't even looked into the paperwork of it. But the man told y'all he was a trick. He told you
the law from the silver suit. I'm just allegedly it was a rape charge. I mean a rape thing she was like trying to pursue. To me, if it was that serious, wouldn't it be criminal? Shouldn't it be criminal first?
Yeah, you're a little white girl. You can go to the courts and they're locking Shannon ass up.
And you could still, with it being criminal, go file a civil case.
Yeah, but that's not the midst of this what's going on. So they into that BSDM, whatever that shit called.
Body domination type shit. Like,
yeah, they into that. So
and see with that is I never like saying like that because it could be a tricky situation. You could think y'all stealing this shit. Like you might not know when to turn it off, and she might use that shit against you. You could be in a bad. I mean, she could be trying to use this shit against you, and you thinking that y'all still in role. Y'all still in the body domination.
Well, it looks like that's what happened. So I mean, we went there. We don't know, but all I'm saying is the man told y'all he was a trick. And if this was Hugh Hefner, would nobody be having no problem.
Why don't nobody bring that up? Why is it okay for Hugh Hefner? Why is it okay for Bill Belichick to have his girlfriend on the sideline as his manager?
Because Bill Belichick ain't as famous as Shannon Sharpe. It's just frowned upon, man. People, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of these folks need to look at
that's a D1.
Their cousins in their own household. But see, that's okay. Let's be honest.
That go back to not going your history and your grandparents, because I'm pretty sure there's some grandparents like that.
Let's go into. I'm gonna go into my professional thoughts about this. Okay. People don't like it. The men and the women that are conversing about this issue, they're only conversing about it because they have been directly or indirectly affected by a certain situation such as this. So those are the people that's up in arms about it. Like, that's just disgusting. And he shouldn't have been. You see what I'm saying? the people that's making it a race issue, they've been directly or indirectly affected by this issue. Because the people who ain't never had no issues like this, they could care less about it. Black man paying for some white girl. That's it. He paying to have sex with her. That's basically all it was.
It triggers them.
It triggers you. So most of the women you see commenting about Shannon, they probably didn't have some type of experience where they was a young girl and they was dealing with an older man, or an older man took it from them, or something of that nature. And it triggers their thoughts and feelings about it.
And that's so wrong, because that's not the same situation.
But it's not the same situation. You know what I'm saying? Now, is it morally? I don't know. Who cares? Who actually does anything moral nowadays? Like, you can look at this. You can have people look at this situation and be like, "Oh, Shannon, man, that's bad, man. You talking to a 19-year-old? You 56 and da da da." You can do that, right? But the same motherfucker who's saying that could be online buying feet pics or watching child pornography. You see what I'm saying? So people place their morals when it don't benefit, when it only benefits them.
Remember when on the last live we did, we was talking, we was saying something about how kids stop going to school after a certain period of time.
Mm-hmm.
I think during that period of time, we also didn't mention how, and it had probably nothing to do with this, a lot of, I think I have to really go back and watch The Color Purple, but in the beginning, right, how old was Stelly when she got, they put that girl on like, how old was that dude? He was like in his 30s, and she was like in her like young, when she became the kid's stepmom.
Oh shit, I don't know, I ain't no telling.
So can't recall. My point about this is, right, back in certain parts of like the South, or not even like if you come from the South or whatever, I'll just say the South. Some parents used to give their daughter off to an older person to marry.
Yeah. It wasn't right, but that's what they did.
It wasn't right. And these people grew up with that mindset of thinking everything was right, because there wasn't no law with that.
Yeah, until they made something.
Exactly.
Kids would not be sexually penetrated by adults. Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know why they made the law. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Don't care. That's not my thing. I don't know why was the benefit of making the law, why they made that law, why they stopped the law. I don't know. But it was.
You ain't even got to go back that far, bro. You can go back to the early 90s, bro. The drug dealer sleeping with the 16, 17-year-old girl that's supposed to be in school. This happened.
Exactly. You're right. It happened even during. I'll go back to even when we was in school, and the older girls that was in there talking about they had an older boyfriend. It might not have been as deep of an age group. It might have been. It might have just been an age, like between like 5 to 8 years. But it still was happening.
Older men like young women. It is what it is. They do. They like them. As
a licensed professional, this is your profession mentally, right? What would you say with young or black? Why do not even black? Not making a race thing. Why do men like younger women? What's the mentality that they look in a younger woman?
Well, sometimes it could be more of a control thing. You can control this young girl. You can entice her to do whatever you want her to do. Sometimes if you got an older chick, or some men don't never get out of that the mentality of them being 15, 16 years old because of whatever happened to them when they were little, and they just stuck there. And then not something like traumatic happened. They just, this was the time where I was the man. So I gotta, kind of still kind of playing that role. That's why you see a lot of older cats, 30, 40 years old, dressing like these young fools out here. You see what I'm saying? So it's a plethora of things that can happen. Vice versa, you got older women who like young men. A lot of old dudes can't get it up like they used to. So, the older ladies like to come and deal with us, young tender 30 and 35s and 25s. They like to kind of play in that round. Tracy Ellis Wall says she like to date younger men.
But I don't see her getting killed for that.
But she's not going to get killed for it because you got to understand the woman mindset. See, I've been reading this book, man. That's been teaching me a lot. The way of the superior man. The way of the superior man. And
I know that. I know that.
In that book, it says you can you thinking that a woman is gonna get better with her thinking. It's not gonna happen. Women only they go off of how they feel at the moment.
What's that called?
When the moment change,
your intuition, a woman intuition.
No, it's not an intuition. It's how they feel right there and at that moment. If she feel like I hate you, motherfucker, right there and at that moment, yeah. 2 hours later, that may change. So me understanding that, like, okay, I get it.
Where did the theory that women are there's like head mentally, they're light heads over males?
You said where? Well, I mean that's a fact. Women mature faster than men. Women mature faster than men because responsibility hit women faster than men. At this point, responsibility.
At this point, I was just thinking of life in general. But at this point, you feel like that?
Yeah, way faster now.
Is that because the girls are put out there to be on their own, and the boys are still getting babied by their mothers?
Nah, that ain't it. It's just when we talk about psychologically, women are put in positions where they have to.
But why are they put in those positions?
Just because it's just women nature. So it's just their nature. They're put in positions of where they have to respond to things a lot sooner than men.
I just wanted to give examples on them type of things, but I'm trying to think of
the situation you just applied.
Which one?
When back in the day, when young women when they was just pawned off on these older men, they put in situations where they have to kind of activate themselves a little earlier than young men do.
But let me ask you this then: that doesn't take. I mean, Hoppo was still on the field working, learning responsibilities too. So I just don't want to take that away.
But he was an old ass man.
Hoppo wasn't not that man. Hoppo was the younger little boy. Hoppo was
that old ass man that he was sleeping on her.
Then who? No. Okay, then that's Hoppo. I'm sorry. Then who was what was the nigga?
So this is what I'm saying. When you got women.
No, because she said Hoppo beat me. That's that other boy. Remember? Man, she was like Hoppo beat me. You told Hoppo to beat me.
Hoppo was the old that.
So who was that? Not the other. Who was Oprah talking about?
I don't know, man. Look, I'm finna explain to you when I say that. Girls are placed in situations where they have to. They develop faster because they put in situations where they have to be developed faster, right? So in that time, when you put in a young girl with a grown ass man, she is forced into situations to cleaning, cooking, at that time, in that time period, right? So nowadays, let's just look at nowadays. A lot of girls, when they, either they become pregnant at 14, 15 years old, they're forced into a situation where they have to develop faster than a young man who probably.
The older dude was called Albert, bro. Hoppo was the dude I was talking to, the younger dude. So, but go ahead.
Yeah. So the young man who may impregnate the little girl, he's not forced into a situation where he has to go ahead and become a grown man at that point in time.
Agree. I do agree.
I'm saying?
That's still to this day. I agree.
A young teenage girl getting pregnant, she gonna be, hey, you gotta you gotta do. You see what I'm saying? I got responsibilities. The responsibility of a young man. Hold on. I'm not saying that it don't happen to young men, but most young men, they still get to go and play football and play sports until 18, until, they got the baby, but they still got this little out that they are able to do.
But who fault? Because you're not wrong. And I wasn't going to say you're wrong. You're right. Because I see it. You can see it now when NFL players are being drafted. I mean, college players are being drafted. All college players are not making a normal amount of money in NIL. So who's taking care of these babies? If it's not it's the parents, the grandparents. It's still the while the father is still in college playing football. He ain't really got time to be around that baby like you think. So you're right, but even though all players don't do that, some players might drop off. Some players might try to balance out both. So I want to give credit to the players that do try to balance both. But we do know the higher number, the player go focus on what he need to focus on, and the mother do the rest. But who is at fault for that? Because
nobody's at fault. This is just what happens. This is society.
But you still, I don't think you should just put all the pressure on the child. Like, and I'm just thinking.
Well, you need to read the way of the superior man. You don't put all the pressure on the woman, but at some point you can't lose your drive and your focus because your woman will resent you for that. You can't. Your purpose is your purpose. So yeah, you're gonna spend time with your family.
So your woman will resent you for being there for your child.
Yeah, that's how women operate.
I really don't, and you're not wrong because I've seen it. I've seen women resent motherfuckers for the less. So I just don't know how I would feel towards it because that's a real. I gotta read that book. Damn, nigga, you ain't got me. I've been supposed to get that book, but I ain't know it was that good. But
yeah, my brother. I'm over here. I'm over here in a whole different. I'm in a whole different dimension, man. With this shit, man.
You ain't send me that.
I ain't even done with the book yet. I'm still in the early chapters.
I'm trying to finish up 48 Laws of Power and this book right here, The Color of Laws. Real good book, man. Y'all check this out right here. Y'all know what we be on, but yeah, man, just like for real, dog. Like, I don't know how I would feel about that because I do see females that get mad when the father do go on and focus on his career. It was kind of like, remember in the movie Coach Carter? I mean, she wanted him to go focus on his career so he wouldn't resent her. But you making this, you flipping it and saying that she's gonna resent him. So I never really pitched it and look at it like that because a lot of times I would look at it like he would resent her.
Your purpose, man. Focus on your purpose. You don't do no good resenting her.
Didn't you say people don't have a purpose?
What?
Didn't you say we don't have a purpose?
As a man,
I got the clip.
You have a purpose.
I got the clip.
Your purpose, whatever that's supposed to be. But as a man, you have purpose. Whatever you deem your purpose is.
I'm gonna find that clip so on that college live.
As a human beings on this planet, no, we don't have purpose. But whatever you deem your purpose to be, then that's what it is. You got to go with that.
I think that's what I meant when I said everybody has their purpose. Whatever your purpose is deemed to.
Whatever your purpose is, you determine that though. But yeah, if you gotta, I'm getting it now. I'm understanding it now. I wish I would have read this book years ago, but I just decided to purchase. I purchased the book a long time ago. I just got to it, and but yeah, once you start to understand. The woman is going to be her mindset is just about how she feel at that particular moment in time, right then and there. So whatever she's saying, this is how you become.
So maybe her. Do you feel like the resentment is a feeling more than a mental?
It is. No, the resentment becomes if you allow her to knock you off of your square. That's when the resentment comes because now you focused on what they got going on.
Because your purpose might be your purpose. You might think it is, but that might not be the purpose. That might not be the right purpose. Because I used to think boxing was my purpose.
No, your purpose is your purpose. Your purpose ain't got nothing to do with your family and your kids and all of that. But if you deviate from that purpose to manage your family and your kids, then yeah, she's gonna resent you for that. Because you're gonna look weak in her eyes.
I don't know. I just want to say it depends on the female.
No,
I can't say that, bro. I won't speak for every female. I won't do that.
It's all of them. I took a picture. I posted a couple pictures. I just put this to the test. I posted a couple pictures on my Instagram and my Snapchat just to see how women would respond to those inserts in that book. And they responded exactly how he said they would. Feelings in that moment. And then I told her, like, nah, you got to read the book. You got to actually read this chapter. And he said you was going to respond just like this. And she was like, what?
How many females responded?
Probably about 3 or 4.
So you have to
Same response though.
But
get a deeper, because not you.
They don't have the book, so they wouldn't. They not gonna get. I'm not gonna get that opposite end. Some of them say they're gonna get the book, but
then all right, then let them speak back afterwards, or like
they will.
A lot of times because you're not wrong, but a lot of times it's a lack of intelligence or lack of knowledge. I feel like the same way. I react off my emotions before I start enlightening myself with intelligence. Where I learned that.
That's a feminine trait, though.
Yeah, it is.
So that's why, as a man, you can't operate like that. What you say got to go. And as a man, that feminine trait. Not saying that you shouldn't have any feminine traits, because you're gonna need that to.
I feel like you have to, as a man, you have to learn how to control your feminine ways.
Nah, it's not even controlling. It's just you're gonna need them in order to parent your children and deal with your woman. However,
so
you have to remain masculine at all times. It's just what it is. So
I'm not saying you have to be feminine, but I don't tell my kids you have to be masculine all the time, because to me, when you saying you have to be masculine all the time, I'm teaching my kids.
You must remain in your masculine energy at all times as a man, but you have to have a sprinkle of femininity in there as well. You got to read the book, bro. It's a phenomenal read, man. Way of the Superior Man. It teaches you. Like I've started, after I read those inserts, I started applying it to day-to-day things. Like, you know what I mean? You don't let women make decisions. Don't put the ball in their court to make a decision. You just do it.
So you feel like a woman is going to base their decision on feelings?
Yeah, how she feel about the certain situation at that current time. Her feelings may change 2 hours later, may change 30 minutes later, but you got to go ahead and make the decision. So this is why we're not having success with different women, because we going about it the wrong way.
You talking about males, as far as just males or black males
who have trouble with women? If you didn't have a daddy around, you're gonna have problems with women. This is a fact. You didn't have a daddy around, you're gonna have a problem with women, because you also gonna allow her to bother you in certain aspects. See, it also said in that book, her nagging, that ain't gonna change. You ain't gonna never get that to change. So why you focused on that? Her complaining, never gonna change. But you can't allow her complaints to detour you from where you trying to go. So you live in her complaints. You let her talk, you let her speak. Let her live in them complaints. Because 30 seconds later, she gonna feel different. This is what it is. So this book, man, I'm telling you, man, it's phenomenal.
I'm gonna go back and think about that one, but we're gonna get back to that one, because
I'm telling you, read the book. Read the book, apply it to your everyday life, and see what happens.
All right,
look, I just read these 2 inserts yesterday. I've been applying it.
What chapter you on?
I'm on, I think 20.
Oh, shit, you almost done.
Nah, they're not long chapters either.
Oh, they're not?
Nah. So I've been applying it, like, just sprinkle it here and there. I was just having a text message conversation last night. Shit. And then it popped in my mind, like I was finna give her an ultimatum on, like, did she come through or not? And I was like, I ain't gonna give her no ultimatum.
I told you.
But yeah, I was gonna give her an ultimatum if she should come through or not. Then I was like, I ain't gonna give her an ultimatum. Nah, come through. She was like, oh yeah, okay. I ain't giving you no ultimatum. This is what you're gonna do, and it worked.
I mean, I'm gonna say this.
Make the decision for her.
I don't know how a lot of females adjust to that, because of the way a male is structured today. A lot of females are not. I can't say. It depends on what you attract and like what type of females you run into. Some people, I think a female, to me, like a male that's straightforward, but some, when they encounter it, they don't know how to really adapt to it.
Got nothing to do with you.
I know that, fool. I'm just speaking. Damn.
Well, I know you speaking. I know, but look, that's what I'm saying. We can't focus on that. As a man, that ain't got nothing to do with you. Her being able to accept.
I just told you that the other day. I was like, bro, like, oh fuck, about you getting mad following me?
No, see, you can't do that though. That ain't how you supposed to do it.
No, I'm just speaking into how but I don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like don't even like that. You don't even dive into that energy. Like you a man. You move on. You don't respond with no type of like. You don't respond to that. It's like all right, whatever. Okay, next. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, bro. I'm gonna be a monster. I'm gonna be a monster out here, boy. I'm telling you.
It's a few more other books that I need to read too. Like, I gotta finish up that 48 Laws of Power.
Yeah, I got a ton of shit I gotta hit that I read. I'm trying to read at least about 30 books this summer, though, for sure. I got them all in my TikTok cart. I'm gonna buy them.
Yeah, like with those books, I gotta get back on those books. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I took a minute off just because you remember I was on a page where I was just trying to learn.
Yeah.
I don't know if you said it, but somebody told me like you're gonna have to take a break because sometimes that like so much information can just fuck you up. You have to.
You don't need all that information, bro. Don't put all that shit in your brain because it's gonna contradict each other. And then you're thinking about the contradiction, and that's gonna contradict something else. Then you think about man, you just go with what you know.
I think that was my problem. I learned so much and it contradicted itself so bad that I was just like, I don't know no more.
Whatever you know, if what you know deems to change in some certain aspects, cool. But go with what you know. That's what I've been doing. Now, what I know has changed from reading this phenomenal book. I'm finna apply it. Like, this is what it is, man. I'm gonna be a monster out here, my boy.
But see, if you never read that book, if you just apply what you already knew, you wouldn't have been.
I mean, some of the stuff I was already doing.
But that's what I mean. That's why I try to read as much as I can.
Yeah, some of the stuff
I can apply even if I don't take everything away from it. Because I don't feel like when you read a book, you remember everything anyway. Like I don't remember every fucking thing in the 48 Laws of Power. I try to remember as much as I can. Certain parts.
I remember shit, bro.
For real?
Hell yeah. Well, if I read it, it's in my brain.
Nah, it's
I always been like that though. If I'm taking notes and I didn't wrote it down and I done read it while I'm reading.
See, I don't take notes. That's another. I just started taking notes. That was one of my coaches told me. My coaches and one of my homies told me. Well, my homie told me because I smoke, but my coach was telling me like you just start taking notes because you taking in so much information. And with me being who I am, I think he already knew that I wasn't going to do it at first. But as time goes, because one thing he always tell me like, Ajay, can't nobody tell you nothing. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. But I know you be listening. So like when it comes back to me and I get to a stage in life where I do remember a lot of things, not even just my coaches, you too. It's been things when you told me, I'd be like, you know what, that nigga might have been right about this situation. So it's not that I don't be listening. I'm kind of one of my motherfuckers that have to go through a situation to figure it out myself. But as I've gotten older now, I've learned to listen more. And that's like just growing up, things when you're so used to an environment of how you've been raised, teaching, been taught, you think that one way is the only way, and it's not. So when you're trying to relearn something, it can be very difficult and hard sometimes. But to better yourself, you have to learn different things because what we was taught wasn't always right.
And that's true. But and he also said that in the book. Take your friends' criticism with ease. Like listen to your friends. When they criticize you, take it. Don't be a hater and be like, man, this big talk. Nah, take that.
And that's the thing to me. I feel like a lot of people we are missing. We don't have friends that we can listen to that could criticize us that we could take into value and really respect. A lot of times.
Yeah, no, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna let niggas off the hook like that. You surround yourself with these people. I ain't letting nobody off the hook. Like my homies. When they say something, like my partner, I called his fool. I'm like, hey, bro, hey, you got a lawnmower? And they was like, bro, I got one, but I ain't crunked that motherfucker up. I don't know if it worked. I said, bro, I'm trying to get this grass. Cause he said, bro, pay somebody to cut that fucking grass, bro. You ain't even at home enough to cut fucking grass. And I was like, man, fuck all that, man. I need to get this motherfucking grass cut. But in my mind, I know he right. He right. Like, bro, you're not home enough to be out here cutting grass, bro. Pay somebody to do that shit, bro.
But in your defense, I do see your point because shit, everybody ain't got the money. Even if they do, you don't know what's coming up that just be spending money like that. You might be saving up for something. She just had to spend $700. I mean, you spent $700 on the guy. You didn't know that shit was gonna just come up like that.
I didn't know, and I didn't expect that. And
exactly. So if you cut your grass, you pay somebody to cut your grass. That's less money that you could have had towards that.
This true, but he did say this. Hey, budget that shit into your budget. Put it into your budget, bro. That's what he actually said.
Friend. Now that's a great fucking friend.
You see what I'm saying? This is my dog. But look, he also 10 years older than me. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta surround yourself with these type of people. Like he 10 years older than me. My other partner like 12. My oldest cousin, he 12 years older than me. I surround myself with niggas who gonna tell me the truth. And I got younger partners than me, but when they come to me for information or knowledge or whatever, I keep it real with them. So now, you see what I'm saying?
We could talk about this another time, but I'm gonna say this right here.
Serious. Oh, enjoy your friends' criticism. That's one of the inserts right there. Enjoy your friends' criticism. Enjoy it.
In this day and age, right, and even with social media, when the lie is more entertaining, and when I speak on this, when I say this, you got so many people that get on here to be fake and be an image and be something that they're not.
Yeah, me. I'm one of them.
I don't get that vibe because you kept it real with me, but I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing on Facebook when
I get on there, I lie, because it's funny. It's funny what people will believe. You see what I'm saying? It's funny. So that's why I do it. It's okay.
But with me, I never wanted yes mans around. I never wanted, because I feel like this. It's the same. Like you have these people around, but you have these people around. You have these whole entourage. Oh, you taking care of these people or whatever because they making you feel like you're the pharaoh. You're on top of this fucking world. But who's that? But who's that motherfucker that's going? Because like you can't watch your back. You can't make and when you're doing like when you're trying to get to a level, and this is something that I'm trying to learn as well. I can't do everything by my fucking self. I be trying to handle my business, take care of my kids, take care of my mom, handle my bills. It shuts me down. My body shuts down.
That's why you gotta have good friends, man. You gotta have good people around you, bro. Older cats that keep it A100 with you at all times.
You're right. I want to say this to people. We gotta stop feeling like in this world, nobody in this world does nothing by themselves. You got somebody that's either right, like they got somebody that's, you know what I mean, that helps. Mm-hmm. You could go to them for a loan. You got people around, but you gotta have the right people around. You want to have people that's an asset than a liability. When I have somebody that criticizing me, they see that's an asset because they want to see me do better. They want to see me do. They're not trying to see me here. Or even here at the same spot. Yeah, enjoy your friends' criticisms, man. I take everything into consideration. Everything. I may be like, man, fuck all that shit, but then I'm thinking about it. If I'm thinking about it, like I asked my cousin the other day, he calls me all the time. He like, man, bitches and I can't. Boy, I'm telling you, these hoes are da da da. I said, cuz, man, do you think you just hate women? Profound question, just profound. I had to take them into that therapeutic sentiment for a second. Like, do you think you just hate women? And if he do, it would have to go back to something.
He had to deal with that. He had to sit with that. He called me, brother's man called me at like 6:00 the next morning. Man, I was thinking about that shit, boy. You gotta tell me, man. Now finish telling me how I hate women. And I'm like, I'm just asking a question. But this is what I would do to somebody who was sitting across the chair from me in the therapy session. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, I just asked a profound question, and now he has to sit and think with that. He has to like, damn, do I hate women? Now,
you know, I always look at
now why? Why do I feel this way towards women?
I always look at
okay, now my relationship with my mama. Oh, that shit fucked up, but and now you gotta. That's all therapy is, bro. I'm not gonna.
It's two words that I listened to that you just said in that whole sentence that you told your sentence. I mean, in that sentence that when he called you, that sentence called think and why. Think and why.
That's the number one.
Thinking part we don't want to do, and then we don't want to deal with the why. That be the realest shit that you.
No, that's my number one question. Why? Why are you doing this? That's why when people be like, kids, man, kids, if you don't got kids, you don't know how to act. bro, when your kid is doing something that you know that they shouldn't be doing, they know that they should be doing it. Sit down and just ask, hey, why are you doing this? Most kids gonna say what? I don't know.
I don't know.
The next question, what you doing, does it make sense?
But hold on, bro. Time out.
This is what I do to children all the time.
You do it, but that's great. That's how I raise my kids. That's great. How many times do people still go back to this theory of stop that shit? The kids say, why? What'd I do? I don't get it. Because I said so.
Well, that's just bad parenting.
Bang. I just wanted you to say it.
That's just bad parenting. You're not offering up an explanation on why, and then you want your kid to be this brilliant kid and ask questions at school. But then when they ask you why, you beat the hell out of them. Nah, why are you doing? I'm asking you why. Why are you doing that? I really don't know. You know, well, does it make sense to you to do this?
So who really? Then the problem is you're not.
You creating a thinker.
You put yourself in a position and you had this child knowing damn well 9 times out of 10 you wasn't mentally. You could probably be financially straight, but mentally you wasn't mentally ready to raise this child, because every time they fucking do something, you gotta yell at them or beat them. You can't teach them, and that's the thing. You gotta teach these kids. They don't just automatically know.
Well, you're not teaching them. They teach themselves. If you just ask why are you doing that?
Well, when I say teaching, you're correcting them.
Well, yeah. When you ask why are you doing that, it's like, damn, why am I doing this? That's what's gonna go through their head. Why am I doing this? Why am I falling out in the store because I want candy? Why am I doing
Okay, then, but then when they ask you why, are you able to translate, or are you able to sit here and have a critical thinking and explain to them why they're doing this? Explain it to them, for they will be able to not just get it, understand it.
No, I'm not gonna tell them why they're doing it. They're gonna tell me why they're doing it.
I'm talking about I'm just speaking in general, like of a parent, of what they should do. Are they capable? Are they able to, when a child? You say, are the parent able to sit here and have a critical thinking and a talk with them to explain and get them, not just tell them why they like what they're doing wrong, to have them understand why it's wrong.
Well, that's not that. You don't determine why they shouldn't be doing it. They have to determine it. That's what makes them a thinker. If I say, hey, why are you trying to stick that knife in that socket? And they say, well, it looks like it fit in there. Sometimes, hell, let them stick it in there and see what happens.
I don't think
they'll figure out why real fast, why they shouldn't. Okay, so hey, electricity go through that, right? Yeah. So
I think some kids do have to learn. Just like when you tell a kid the stove is hot, you got some kids to be like,
hey, why would you want to touch that?
Some kids do. A lot of kids have to learn by actions.
Okay, that's why you shouldn't touch it. That's it.
But like, every scenario not like that, though.
No, every scenario is not like that. But if you just ask those questions, why? That question, why?
Like, what was your thinking of why to do this?
Yeah, why do you feel like you should do that? Now you're building a thinker. Why are you doing that? Why are we doing that?
That's a great point. And a lot of kids don't. If
you tell them to stop, they're gonna keep wanting to do it.
I was just yesterday, or maybe the day before, I was telling my kids, like, I got a problem. Because I remember like I said, I be thinking about things to you. I be talking to my kids, and sometimes I be talking, and they be like, what? And then I have to slow it down, and I be like, y'all got to listen to the words I'm saying and how I'm saying it, because I've taught y'all well. A lot of times, I said, y'all got to stop using that chat GPT, whatever that shit is, to be able to think for you. Y'all know how to think. I've taught y'all this. We've been working on this, and all the time we got to get back away from that, because I'm feeling like when you got these apps that think for you, you use the trend. You're losing the mindset of being able to work and think. Use your mind, think for yourself.
Well, I'm not gonna say that because I use the hell out of ChatGPT.
Well, damn it.
I'm just saying, I love ChatGPT. When I don't
thinking that I would go with ChatGPT. But we're adults that we're thinkers though, bro. We're not just gonna stop with using this. You got some adults that just only use this and don't know how to do nothing else. I don't want my kids to be like that in a world that I know that's only going to get more advanced and more technology is going to come out. So it's going to be make us more lazy or mentally. We as people are already lazily mentally.
Yeah, but you just got to know how to use your mental powers, man. You got to know how to use your mental powers. That's why you have people read. But yeah, man, when people tell me like you ain't got kids, I'm like, bro, come on, bro.
I think when people say you don't have kids, they feel like you don't go to the everyday hustle of having your kids, picking them up, doing this every day. I think.
And if I had to do that, guess what? It'll get done. No problems. Hands down, it'll get done.
But see, they don't know that part of you.
Yeah, they don't know that, but it's okay. I like when they say it because
or they feel like you don't know what it goes through in the theory yet.
But listen. This is the thing. People like to say that, right? I think that's just an excuse.
It is an excuse, but that's a big excuse.
Man, you don't know what I go through every day. I got to pick them up. Okay, whoop-de-doo. You're a parent. That's what you're supposed to do. But look, when they like to say that, I say this.
But you didn't put yourself in a predicament to be a parent. So
that's true too. But I like to hear them when they say that, and I like to prove them wrong. Because this is how I prove them wrong. I've been dealing with children technically my whole life, but professionally, I've been dealing with children from since.
I know where you're going with that, but it's not the same all the way.
It's the same. Listen, what I'm saying. When they like to say that I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm not a parent, I just what scenario are you going through with your kid? Now try to do it this way and see what happens. And guess what? They come back and do every time. Man, you told me that's how. Yeah, I didn't know that was. I know. Because I don't have to be a kid. But I don't have to have children to understand how to parent children. It's not rocket science, bro. Yes, you don't understand. I got to do this. That's you allowing the kid to frustrate you. You are the adult. How do you allow the kid to frustrate you?
And I think where that point is coming from, it just seems easier said than done when you.
It is easier said than done. But put me in the same position and watch it get done. That's all I'm saying.
I don't. But
no, I'm speaking in general.
I don't want them thinking. I don't want them saying they don't. You wouldn't get it done. I think a lot of parents still do get it done, but the mental stress that it takes to get it done is where they might be coming from. We all have to get it done.
This is the thing. A child cannot mentally stress me out. I'm gonna stress them out. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna mentally stress me out, bro. Like what? Oh, okay. That's what you want to do? Like my little brother came out here. I don't no mental stress happening here. This is what you want to do? Oh, okay. I'm finna play all the games. Let's go. This is what you want to do. I got a trick bag, boy. Biggest Santa Claus bag. I got a trick bag and it's full of goodies.
Even though I know your brother couldn't make that decision, I can't speak with other people. If I was in that fucking position, you was my brother, I might fucking leave. So that's the thing where they go back to.
You wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
I can't say you couldn't. I'm not. I don't know your brother. Your time out, bro.
The tactics that I apply, you it ain't no way you gonna leave.
I'm telling you what I would. I can't speak for nobody. I'm telling you, me, and you can. Bro. You was under me. We was around each other all our life.
AJ,
to a point when we was growing up.
The nigga that I am right now.
I'm gonna fuck who you was as a nigga. I'm telling you, I don't mean no disrespect.
The tactics that I apply, bro, you just gonna fall in line. You gonna be like,
bro, I done been over.
You gonna be crazy.
You can ask my god brother Dino. You can ask my coaches. During that period of my life, I would have asked myself. Ask Raquel. Me and her don't even speak no motherfucking more right now, dog. Like it's just certain things. I'm speaking on you. You say maybe you. It would have been you would have had to kill me.
I'm not gonna kill you. I ain't gonna have
then I would have left.
You
left me and mom. Because as a parent, no. And when I'm saying that you're my brother, you're not my parent.
I know.
So that's what
I'm not trying to be your parent.
No. But that's the thinking, and I'm not saying it's a wrong thinking because all you're doing is doing what's best for me. I'm just speaking from my mindset of what I know I would have been in.
And I would have had you understand. You would have understood. Like, boy, I'm not trying to be your goddamn parent. That's not happening. This is not this relationship is not a parent. I'm your.
But that's what
okay.
No, so then if it's not a parent. If it's not a parent relationship, I think that's where the parents go back to where they're saying you're not understanding them because it's not a parent and son relationship. So the meaning of me listening to you telling me what I gotta do as a parent is not gonna come out the same, but it should because we don't value the respect of our the people because it takes a village. So it shouldn't be just your parent and like that you should value and respect because at the same authority, right? If your mother has given you that, it put you in put her giving you the rights to be his guardian parent, then he needs to respect that as she was there.
No.
I feel
no.
If I go to somebody's house, right? I'm gonna respect your rules and regulations just like I would respect my mom. That's the thinking I have now.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm gonna apply.
Not saying you should apply it. Not saying you're gonna apply it. I'm just telling.
No, I'm just telling you that's not what I would apply.
How would you did? How would or did
exactly
you
how I applied it to him? This is not. I'm not your parent, and at this point, I'm not even your brother. You're becoming a growing young man. You're gonna have to fend for yourself, my boy. I'm gonna show you how to do it, but you're gonna fend for yourself. So that's why where he at right now.
Tell him how to.
There's probably been plenty of days he wanted, man, leave about this motherfucker. I'm sure. But nah, that ain't how it works, my boy. You gotta fend for yourself. You doing grown people shit, right? Okay. This is what grown people have to do to make this shit happen around here. To keep this shit going, this is what grown people do. You grown? Or you want to play little boy? If you want to play little boy, I go into parent mode. If that's what you want. This is a conversation that we had. Me and him had. And I go into parent mode if you want to be a little boy or you want to be a young man. What you want to do? You make the decision. So now you got to think, damn, do I want this nigga hovering over me, making every decision for me, or do I want to, kind of do stuff on my own? Do I want to be able to leave out the house at a certain time and come back at a certain time and do? Okay, all right, yeah. Now you make the choice. All right, now you done made your choice. Now this is the setup here. Yeah, you're a growing young man, but before you leave, you need to let me know where you're going. I don't give a damn where you're going. I don't care where you go. Let me know where you're going. Let me know when you're coming back. All right, I got that. Now, hey, bro, I'm about to run over here to the next street over.
It's just being called. It's just showing responsibility.
That's it. Now you just got to make the decision.
Hey, bro, I got to give you your flowers on that because a lot of we ain't like how you broke that down. I respect that because there's a lot of times. Not only now a brother would do that. Like just most men ain't even gonna do that. You got most fathers wouldn't even took the role that you took on. Yeah. So I gotta give you your flowers right here, right now for that, bro, because I know that's still as a young man, like with no kids, it's not an inconvenience to you, but it could be considered an inconvenience to you. I just want to choose my words broadly with that. So in your life, to take out 4 years, to sacrifice 4 years of your life to be there for your brother, to teach him how to be a man and stuff like that, bro. I commend you, bro. I got mad respect for you, bro, because you didn't have to do that.
Nope, didn't at all. But it's my duty.
And I respect that. And you took it serious, bro. And I'm pretty sure, man, I know I know your mom is very appreciative of just the man you have become, dog. Like for real.
I hope so. Bro, that's why I say, bro, it's not hard, bro. It's not hard. It's like
it's what we make it.
Yeah, it's like, bro.
I'm not gonna say it's not hard because some days can be hard.
It can be frustrating.
It can be frustrating, hard.
But your mindset has to be this. Ain't no kid finna stress me out. I'm doing the stressing around this motherfucker. Anybody gonna be stressed out, it's gonna be the kid. And look, and I ain't saying
you ever have a daughter, dog?
Man, look, listen, bro. Listen, bro. I can't wait. I hope I have a daughter. I want a daughter.
324 episode 30. Gotcha.
I want a daughter. I'm telling you, bro. When people listen, bro. I'm gonna say this.
Boys, right now, boys is a breeze, but that girl,
bro. Girls are the easiest.
I'm getting offline with you with this.
Listen, bro. Girls are the easiest adolescents to deal with. See, boys, you gotta get past the man, I do.
Man,
you know the confrontation part. Girls, oh my God.
We'll see.
Listen.
I just got a 14-year-old, so we'll see how it goes in the next 4 years. My boys are 12, they'll be 13. I haven't had a confrontation with them, so I don't know what that is yet.
You probably ain't. Not yet, but I'm telling you, bro.
But that daughter, it get confrontation with that one.
I want a girl. Because I'm telling you, bro.
Because she has a mentality where she going to challenge you. I've raised them that kind of way.
But you let them challenge you, though.
Yeah, because I don't want, if you could challenge me, I feel like you're not going to go in this world and let nobody walk over you. It's just certain things I teach my kids. Everybody ain't going to agree with it and they ain't going to like it. But to a way, they know when to back down. So I've always taught them to challenge me because I'm not always right as a parent. Certain things that they have challenged me on, and I had to really look, and they have been right. But there's been things that I have taught them to be able to get to that point. It hasn't a point that they just get to, because if it's something that I say, this ain't a what do I say? I always say this ain't up for discussion, or this ain't up for no negotiation. It's done and deal. But if it's something that I want to listen to, or if I feel like they might have a valid point on, I do give them that, because I've built a certain type of relationship with my kids, certain type of trust where I can listen to their input and value it.
I commend that. That's respectable. But for me, everything is up for debate. Let's debate it. Everything. Everything. I let it all in. And then we're gonna see who got the better point. If you can make a better point than your daddy, than your older brother, than your cousin, or whatever, you can make a better point than me, the way it makes me say, okay, let's try that.
And I think that's a great way. I think that's a great way to teach your kids, as well.
Everything is up for debate. Let's debate it. Make it happen. If you can convince me that you should be doing this, let's do it. Everything. I ain't gonna say no.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I pray for that child to try to go. I pray for him.
If you can convince me, baby,
I pray for him.
And look, I used to do that with my little brother. Like, convince me that you should be doing this. If you can convince me, I ain't gonna turn you down.
You know what's so funny though? I won't speak on you, but I wasn't kind of raised that way. I can't speak on
me neither.
And I don't even know what made me even become that person.
Because what makes you become that person is you never got the chance to be that.
But you know what? That's right. But when we say like certain things pass on.
Yeah, you don't just pass on all bad shit now.
No. Like with some, like a lot of parents don't never just be like they just feel like their parents taught them was just, my parents thought that, like, you know how with politics, my family was Democrat. It take motherfuckers so long to go read a book to figure out, damn, Democrats been bullshitting.
So like this, something I was talking to my cousin about this shit today, and then we're gonna get out of here, bro.
All right, go ahead.
As you get older and the confrontation with your parent, any type of confrontation, you start to see the little kid in them.
Ooh, boy, that's deep.
Sometimes, like,
I know what you're saying too.
I got into some confrontations with my mama, and it's like she turned into a little bitty girl.
Like she ain't trying to hit nothing you saying.
Nah, it ain't even that she ain't trying to. It's the bratty little girl.
The pettiness.
Yeah, it's like a little kid. Like it's like, hold on, who the fuck is the parent here? You know what I'm saying? Not for real. I'm speaking facts, bro.
Nah, I was laughing for a reason. I get you.
Yeah.
I
And the more
get it.
the older I get, the more interactions we have.
Your mama gonna kill me. I know she did what she
Then
did.
you start to understand, like, hold on. Yeah, my mama, and it's nothing against my mama. I love my mama to death, but she don't know that much.
Well, let me ask. Part 2. We gonna do a part. I'm not gonna keep asking no questions. We're gonna ask a part. We're gonna have a part 2 to this because that's a damn.
Your parents become your children, man. We gotta talk about it.
Part 2. We're gonna talk about that.
I can't wait to get my man. This $700 just fucked my whole.
Yeah, man. Great talk. We also gonna talk about how do children feel about their parents paying them back? Should your parents pay you back?
Hell no. You pay your parents pay you back for what?
No. Okay, let me rephrase this question. If your parents borrow money from you or you give your parents money for something, should your parents have to pay you back? How do you feel?
Yeah. Fuck. You don't
Part
go to,
2. Go
to the loan. Go to the bank and then they don't pay back. You don't pay them back. I want my money too, motherfucker. Shit.
Hey, bro. Part 2, bro. I appreciate you. Appreciate you coming on, man. Hey, man, we're going to get up out of here. Part 2, we're going to let y'all know this is going to be a good one. All right, bro.
Shit. All right, dog.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.